1 billion mark that we do like. But hey, if you're into IPOs and you got one today, you got two tomorrow, that quantum stock, and then another energy play is going to be out there. It's 11. We're going to get a little bit of beef for lunch. We'll see how that goes. The Mexican beef action should be solid. We'll see you back at 2 o'clock. But for now, we got Joey options. We got the professor. Go get him.
Trade S. Joey. Hold it down.
I'm in devs right now.
Yo, your boy Joey is trading small caps. It is a new day. Boom! Greetings and salutations, beautiful people. Welcome to the midday show. Do you remember, what was his name? Arian Foster?
Yeah.
Remember the running back for the Texans? It was like always like a thing like that. Shout out to Arian Foster. Fell off big, but hey, whatever, man. Running backs.
Speaking of fall-offs, man, we were talking about fall-offs not too long ago.
No, but hold on. Running backs longevity in the NFL, a little bit hard.
Yeah.
Especially when you ask running backs to block. Then you're really reducing the longevity. My man, Randy gets it. He knows what's up. Let's say hello to everybody. VWAP Viking, let's get it, boy. And Randy Worms, Heart to Heart Media, Heart to Heart, baby. Gavin Ross, Farm Traders, Slow Motion, All the Cream, let's get it, he says. Brush, Digital Art and Christmas, Hangry Wife, Customer, All-Time High, Micron Millionaire, I love that name, man. Roger Noonan, we got Bart J. Natoli, Commodity King, the OG, 3 Years Avenue. You've been with us 3 years? Is that what's going on over there, Commodity? Kirk D. King Jesus is in the house as well. Mr. Inglewood, Mig Raj, and we got Brendan, Randy Worms, Randy's World. Randy, you gonna let somebody call their name Randy's World? I wouldn't allow that, man. Lon, Chera, we got Dylan Patel. Shout out to John DiPietro, Travman. Who else, man? Come on, Player, Beta, Brooke, Trades, Ronaldo. No teeth, please, 69.
Wow.
Much love. What?
Wow.
I don't know what's going on, boys, but that's the name there. Sean Dog, Jake Weston. Oh my days. Yeah. The chat's gonna go lit for that one. We got James, Chaos God, Jacob Savage, MF Dangerous, Grey Worm, and Turnkey Services 5. Hola. Right back at you, baby. Shout out to Frisco Suave, 69. Yes, there's a lot of 69s in the names today, Joey.
Yeah,
good morning,
the chat's
brother.
going. Yeah, good morning, everyone. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Beautiful one in the city. We hit the Heel Toe Express yesterday and just walked around Shreve. I think I have one of my new favorite neighborhoods in the city is just off of Wellington Street, right by the well.
Right.
I
the water.
No, like a little bit, close to the water, right, but north of it, right behind the well on the north side, in between the well and King Street.
Okay.
A very beautiful neighborhood. Yeah, it's really low key and stuff like that, and you have access to the. Yes. So we heel-toed it yesterday, getting him a little bit of exercise. He's been absolutely on one since he's got neutered. But anyways, aside from that, guys, no, man, he's been wild.
He's been a bad boy?
Yo, brother, I'm like, holy, someone's going to have to talk to him. Because, I mean, dude, I'm like, this is literally like raising a child. He's not stopped crying and doing all this stuff. Anyways, aside from that, guys, let's get right into the trading here today. Hopefully, man, it's been a week. Here it is, Walmart. We're going to look for some signs of strength as we rotate out of some of the tech names, and it looks like we're going a little bit defensive. We're in this devs.com, but yeah, it's not doing too much right now. Small size at that high of the day break. We're gonna add if it has an additional momentum play right through that 90-cent marker. So there we are, but we're slowly cooking up here in WMT. No, there we go. Bang, we got it. No, we got that. So yeah, that's what we have there, guys, and it's unfortunate. We're down $17 off the high in NVDA, and I was just telling Sharif and I were talking, like, we're going to get involved in some Google, right? Like, come on, keep selling. We understand this is a debt raising, but who's kidding who? These guys have 900 million people paying them every month. You're down 12%. I'm starting to likey, so me likey Google over at these levels. Once again, you don't go all in at once. You slowly grab some, you slowly grab some, and I've been getting involved with some more NVDA. My current average on this, my long-term, significantly lower, but NVDA, we're sitting around $210. If we happen to break 209 and we go below my average, well, guess who's buying a little bit more? But here comes DEV, right back towards our entry. Let's see if Walmart wants to put in a new high of the day, my brother. But so far, so good. We're not going to complain about anything.
All right, man. Look good, look good, look. Let's get right down to work. Here's the 8 that I'm looking at. A lot of them have interesting names today, guys. We got Fofo, we got Stack, we got Finger. And Finger better treat me well, otherwise, you know what kind of gesture I'm going to give it.
Oh.
Right? That's kind of the way that's going to work. All right, WCT, chief among them, up 193%, but it is caught in a bit of a downtrend here, guys. 361 high. In fact, it's trading at 271, straddling the 10 EMA on the 5. I don't like the fact that it lost 3. Couple of reasons. One, it got to 361. That's a substantial amount farther or above $3 for me to want to use $3 as support. Also, take a gander on the left side of your screen. That's the aftermarket high. Lo and behold, it rejected 3. So 3 is going to feature here whether we like it or not. Now, the problem is it lost 3 and it lost it by some distance here, about 40 pennies with the prior bar into 260. We'll look more at this, but we got to weasel on up to the big desk with Adara.
Keep an eye here on USO. Seeing some reports coming through. Now, these are very long-winded, so bear with me. Hayom News of Israel is reporting, again, citing U.S. sources that were then cited by a Lebanese channel, that apparently Saudi Arabia is holding talks with the U.S. Now, the goal of these talks is to support the Lebanese position to prepare the ground for an Israeli withdrawal. Now, apparently, at the same time as this Israeli withdrawal, we'll also get the deployment of the Lebanese army in the area. So this is all very confusing, but either way here, Saudi Arabia and the U.S. reportedly in talks with regards to Lebanon and Israel. If I get more details and hopefully clearer details, I'll let you know. Back to you.
Thank you. All right, let's continue here with WCT. So if you stretch out the chart a little bit, we're going to go ahead, draw that downtrend line. We're going to continue to watch these, more prolonged pullbacks for a breach. My position for the last couple of months is that these are bull traps. However, I've seen things lately that may, persuade me to change my opinion. I'm going to move the way that the market moves, right? I'm a market observer, not a market mover. So if it's going to trade in a bull trap fashion, I won't trade it. But if it's going to start breaking out, then we're going to keep this one on watch. S-Dot also should be in focus here. Third leading gapper in the market, up 141% or thereabouts. This one has a tendency as well, number 1, to halt, and number 2, to give back aggressively when it makes area highs. Case in point, look at the pre-market. It did it in the pre, and it's doing your regular trading hours. 625, boom, 766 high. Look where it was a few minutes later, losing 5 into 480. That probably stopped out everybody and their mother. It did it again at the open, halted up into 825. When all was said and done, a few minutes later, we were down to 633. It did it yet again at 1055, making that 946 high, losing 8, going into 775. So this has an affinity here for aggressive retracements after making intraday highs. The implication of that should be pick it up at area lows and ride the trend on the way up, okay? Try not to take a breakout on the dot, S-Dot that is. HUBC, this has been a multi-day runner. We've been putting this one up for a while. It doesn't look as good today. It looked better in the pre, quite frankly. Got popped up there into 82 pennies and then dropped back down into 60, trying right now to reclaim the volume weighted average price. Still up a respectable 40 2/3% on the day. LASE as well. I saw a lot of people in the chat talking about this one. A multi-day runner as well. Look how good LACE was yesterday. And even, I don't want to say even better today, but the fact that it breached the aftermarket high at 3 2/3 is a testament to the fact that this is going to be a multi-day runner. 4.5 resistance on the day, 449. Currently, straddling that that 10 EMA on the 5, right at about 385 or so. That's LASE. Then we got FOFO. FOFO does suffer from an affliction that some of these ones do suffer from, and that is a lack of liquidity. But FOFO has been making moves, more specifically in the aftermarket on Monday. This one got all sorts of strong. To give it credit, it was making moves basically all day on Monday, but it really jettisoned in the aftermarket as a result of the lack of halt parameters, volatility halt parameters. Yesterday was a decent day. It wasn't bad. It went green, ended up closing a little bit at $4, I think. $4 was the close. Right now it's trading at $5.79, above the volume weighted average price. That's FOFO. Stack, STAK, also a decent one, also a multi-day runner. This one was stacking up the money yesterday, Joey, into the high there at about 240 at last. We take out that yesterday high for a new high today, 290. We're still putting in some higher lows, and most notably, we're above the 10 EMA on the 5, so that is good. Devs, the one you see your boy Joseph frickin' options in, another multi-day runner with this one. Bless you, Ram. This one having the big move there on Monday. Decent day, Friday. Decent day on Monday. A pretty good day yesterday. That was a gnarly double top, though, into 70 pennies. Probably peeved off a lot of people who were looking for that break. But 70 pennies is featuring today as an area of, this time, support. Yesterday was resistance, 71.95 penny low, 91.90 area high. I'm going to be looking for the dollar. And then last but not least, Joseph options, yes, finger. Just lost the volume weighted average price at around 87 pennies, showing 85 4/5 right now. Let's see if this one can get back up. The volume on this one is also sporadic. I don't want to say it's light, but it kind of is. It's 85 pennies and it's doing about 85, 50, 60, 95,000 shares per 5-minute candle. So it's not that much, but it is, you know, enough, I think, for us small folk over here who are not going to be punching in RC type shares to be able to maneuver some trades on this. So those are the 8 that I'm watching. Of course, as always, if there are any that I haven't mentioned, tag me and let me know.
Good stuff, man. Stacked market. I messaged you on Saturday. They had the coffee party there, which was looking like a whole lot.
But I was watching the Arsenal.
Yeah, you're watching the game. Yeah,
I'm down for that coffee party, though, brother.
Yeah, the next one's at Cabana. But I wanted to. That's too far.
They're gonna do the coffee party at Cabana, and there's not going to be alcohol.
Bro, I don't know if that's the case because that stacked market, that like half of it is beer. So.
Is it?
Yeah, like have you been to stacked?
No.
Oh, it's pretty cool, man. Go check it out whenever you have time. Here it is, guys. We're still sitting in this Walmart trade, and then we were looking at S-Dot this morning. We were trading it a little bit in the pre-market, a couple of break-even trades there, guys. But let's rock and roll. We're gonna stick with the strength, and you can see the strong opening drive that we experienced here on this specific underlying, and that's gonna be WMT. We have Jesse in the chat also mentioning that options aren't trading on some platform. I don't know. I haven't really made any executions on that. My last options play was for NVDA's earnings, and you guys know how that one went. Good thing we didn't spend too much cash on it because you didn't exceed the expected move, and then sure enough, you lose the majority of that value. And then we also have Gaurav mentioning a lot about Amazon, and it's just like, hey, listen, what goes up must come down at some point. I don't know if must is the answer. You can obviously go through some exponential growth in between there, but you're going to get some forms of pullbacks. And the Amazon to $250, look at this, just a sell program. So it'll be significantly more difficult to find a bottom on that. And with that being said, nor am I going to try to pick one. I'd rather just go with the trend than play some of the counter trend trades. 216 on NVDA. We were down off the lows to 215. That trend broke, right? I guess there's a couple of things that you can put. It's like, all right, we have this waterfall, almost S-type price action. If that breaks, then maybe you can look to get involved. But I'd rather just stick with the Walmarts of the world and say, hey, we're trying to put ourselves in the right place at the right time. 1609 starting to come in. It's giving us a hell of a time and not breaking the 1655 marker. Now we're just relatively flat on this, and we've been sitting in it for quite some time here. When did we get involved in Walmart? We first started around 10:10, and then now about an hour later of grinding higher, that is gone in the span of about 30 seconds. So good time to SELX. A lot of people are mentioning. Let's pull that bad boy up right now and see what we got going on. I don't know what's going on here.
What's wrong?
Oh, no, there. Okay, yeah, so Similux, there we go, breaking through some resistance zones. I'm going to play the high of the day break. If that comes into play, then 64 cents. I'm going to look for that punch through with some momentum and some volume. So I like that opportunity. We're going to sit in Walmart until proven otherwise. I believe this can be a consolidative bull flag, especially if we're getting the rotation out of tech. You got to see that money funnel somewhere. Now we're back to the break even. I'm going to look to even maybe add on this name potentially here, Street. But SLE. Oh, wow, what a rug. Yeah, what a rug pull right there. Man? Yeah, big time rug pull on SLE or SELX.
Okay, I want to make a point here, and I hesitated to trigger on SELX for a specific reason. I saw a very observable, a very clear area of resistance. Look at this area, pre-market, 825, 830. What am I talking about? I'm talking about 55 pennies. And then I'm talking about the implied balance open. The high of the implied balance open, AKA the time between 9:30 to 10:30. When I say implied balance high and implied balance low, I'm talking about the first hour of trading, 9:30 to 10:29 or whatever. You know, you wouldn't have to get technical with it, but the 9:30 candle is the high of the implied balance, which is 56 pennies on the dot. And that's where we got with this one, but we're recovering. This is crazy over here. 54.62 is the prior bar high. We're showing 53. That was a gnarly retracement that lost VWAP. It didn't quite lose trend. So if you were using a trend following system, specifically looking to prior bar low for your out, you weren't triggered out on that because prior bar low was 46 1/3. Prior bar's low, 46 1/3. That's a doji candle right here. Then this inverse hammer candle, 1110, was 47. So this one's still holding trend, despite the fact that this current 5-minute candle is engulfed, both on the high and the low side. So, hey man, SELX doesn't look bad. But shout out to my man, who's that? Slow motion for me. Slow motion for me. Ennie's making another move here, Joey, and we were watching Ennie, I recall, on Monday. And he had a fantastic day. Monday, not much of a day. Yesterday, really felt like it sold off the entire day. Doesn't have as much volume as it did Monday, nor does it have as much volume as it did yesterday, but better looking chart pattern. 479 high, showing 467, well ahead of the 10 EMA on the 5, which is showing triple fours at the moment. So it's about which one I'm gonna execute on here. I'm keeping a close eye here on SELX. I'm thinking I get into SELX above 57.5, 58 pennies. That gives me, the requisite distance between what I see as a triple top, again, pre-market, implied balance open, and just right now. So if it gets above that, I think that should be a sufficient distance away from saying, getting pulled in on a bull trap. Nothing is 100%. Obviously, I could get rinsed on it as well. But SELX looking good. I'll probably put a breakout trade on this one, 57.5. 57. We'll see really what I decide at the moment. Also, I want to go back to WCT. It is doing that dance, right? The sell-off dance with the lower high setup, and then now we're getting that consolidative zone. I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts that this breaks into 3, maybe above 3. I'm thinking 3 1/4, 3 1/3, probably 3, maybe 3 1/5. Who knows? And then drops back down and loses 275. Let's see. If it doesn't, if it continues on its merry way, I'll trade it. But I've just seen these ones set up in this fashion a lot lately, so forgive me if I'm not quick to jump into this one. Right now, guys, I'm not liking anything, right? Everything that I'm watching doesn't look bad, but nothing's at my entry spot. So I'm gonna steer clear for the moment, pack the patience, and then I wanna try to target a very, very specific entry here. We're gonna keep an eye on SELX, Joey.
Yeah, but you said dollars to donuts, so we may as well go. We may as well go bites to bucks here, right?
Just bucks, dollars to donuts. I love it. KC 520 frickin' 6. What is this, Casey? Where do you find these, Casey? Where do you find these? My days. JLHL, Joey. It's up 72.5%. It looks like it's halted for the 100th time, and it is only done, well, probably because of the halts, 23,000 shares. That's what she loves these, man. She's really good at these. And I'm pretty sure she's printing up a storm on this one as well. You might have convinced me here, Case. I'm going to have to keep a close eye on this one. When's the resumption time, Joey? 11:14:03. It is currently, I'll give you the exact time, 11:18, 11:19. So we still have 19:03 should be the resumption of this one. That should be now. No, it's not going to come live now, okay? So then it will likely be a 10-minute halt. So it should have been open, didn't open. Going to keep an eye on this one. Good call, Case.
Good stuff, man. Yeah, we're still sitting in this Walmart trade here. You can see that devs broke down here, right? You're still up 31%, but that's not too bad. It didn't get the high of the day break. We tried the ad, and then you take a 5-cent loss on it. Nothing big. We're just riding. I still have like significantly more size on this Walmart trade. Going to be one of the larger positions that we put on here this morning. NVTS, I don't know why when I talk, I always like start to hiccup or something. Anyways, NVTS here, guys, starting to form somewhat of a bull flag. Let's see if this is gonna hold up, $30.35. If that support level breaches and is broken, then you might see a little bit more downside and give back the majority of this move. So we'll keep an eye out on that one. And then also, we'll head back to our watch list, actually, considering it's right here. And we'll see, 216.55, that's a nice little pop. We have a sell program here today. This gap is being filled. Come down, come to Poppy over here at Google, because we're just gonna get ready.
I heard Poppy way too much in Dominican, bro.
Yeah, what's up,
Everybody
Poppy?
calls you Poppy.
Even the
people
dude,
you don't want to
even
call
the guys
you
call you that, man. Yeah,
exactly.
But yeah, anyways, there it is. So Netflix still stinking. Glad that we trimmed a lot of that position here, guys. So what do we want to do? We want to head over to the staples. We'll look at some of the stronger sectors here this morning, and we'll find where we can look for some strength, all right? And I think that's really important, and that's all we did with Walmart. I forget who mentioned it, but this name has, like, it had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of the past, like, 9 trading sessions, 8 of them have been red. So at some point, you were going to get a rebound, and I'm glad that we had the ability to take advantage of it here today. We're still holding on to this bad boy for the break of the high of the day. I'm looking for about 117. I think that's doable here on Walmart, considering we're in at 116. We'll look for that dollar here on this specific name. Now let's take a look at the best performing sectors here today, and that can just be like, hey, if the tech names aren't really in play, then where are we going to go and look? And we're going to kick things off. I heard Randy mention this morning, he's like, XOM is climbing higher, so there it is, energy sector. At the top of the list, industrials, utilities, materials, real estate performing relatively well, and then the consumer defensive. So the Walmarts, the Costcos, and the Targets of the world looking up to their name right now. So you're getting defensive. Financials, you would think would be, you'd see a little bit more of a rotation. Not necessarily the case. The worst performing sector here today, Sharif, down 1.67%. But I think what we do have right now, and what I believe we do have right now, is Meta. Meta was strong this morning, and I'm glad to see this name finally start to find some strength. I just thought it was oversold. The PE on this bad boy is relatively cheap. So seeing this bounce off of this support level is key. It looks kind of dangerous considering we'll call this a shelf. It's giving me that kind of vibe, but if the further we get away from it, the more I like it for a little bit of a continuation. Before I send it back to Sharif, I actually want to see the PE on this bad boy. And remember, wow, this thing is really cheap right now. 18 times, bro?
Yeah, it's always traded a little cheap.
Has it traded? Yeah. But I remember Sharif and I, we were talking about Google. It was getting hit really heavy. It was like 22 or 23 times. You have all those price to earnings investors come in and find these names like, oh, wow, it's not like they're hard to find or anything along those lines, but they start to buy them up, and look what happened to Google. I'm not saying that's necessarily going to be the exact same case with Meta, but I like our chances because it is one of the largest companies on the planet.
Of course, I completely agree with that, you know. Meta at the right price is just, it's a stone cold buy, right?
You can't ignore it, in my opinion.
No. I mean, it controls far too much of social media. Like, granted, we've been talking about some of the headwinds, right? Can I say something else to you? There is this movement now amongst regulators, and the movement and the thinking goes like this. They think they missed the boat on early regulation on social media, and they're having to scramble now and put it in 15, almost 20 years later. They don't want to make that same mistake with AI, according to this group, this sort of regulatory thinking.
I think that's makes sense, right? Like
it does in a more nuanced way. I don't think it should be completely laissez-faire when it comes to. You
don't want to over-regulate too early.
Now we're talking. But the point of the matter is, Joey, they're trying to use their lack of regulation for social media and missing the boat as sort of the precipice off which to have, you know, all this regulatory. You got your boy Bernie Sanders wanting to take 50% of every AI company.
He's tripping.
Right?
But I mean, remember, like, so obviously Meta's still going through all of these lawsuits, but they were kind of comparing it to the tobacco moment. Right, and you slowly see countries like Australia and some European countries putting an age limit on this stuff.
No flavored tobacco. You're catering to
minors, but it's even
even
way before then. Like, okay, hey man, we smoking on airplanes, and then maybe we shouldn't be doing that, and smoking in restaurants
I'm
and
old
stuff.
enough to remember when people did smoke on airplanes. You had to smoke. The smoking section was in the back.
It's not like it made a difference, probably though. Anyways,
no man, it traveled, bro.
But like I grew up in the era where they smoked in restaurants.
Yeah,
like
so
you
did
can
I.
smoke, right? You know what I mean? It's like you just go over the smoking section, like that big. It did a difference. I think I don't know. I'm a mixed bag.
Agree with you.
From someone who's never had Instagram, but like I have other forms of social media. It's tough where I lay because of obviously what we do. But does it cause harm? Yeah, we've seen that woman win X amount of money because she said she became depressed using Instagram and all that stuff. It does have that effect on individuals.
Man.
And I was in my teens. Like, think about it. I'm like 14, 15, and I remember my first girlfriend ever said, you have to get this thing called Facebook, and I got it. Yeah, I didn't have it. I'm like, I don't need that type of stuff. But no, it does have effect on younger children. I'm just glad it's completely different from what it was doing when at my age compared to what it is now, because that false sense of reality can get to people sometimes.
No question, man. No question. You know, when it comes to protecting young people, I live by a bit of a different set of rules than when it comes to adults' autonomy. All right, let's get right down to work here. WCT is making moves. If we can, please, Tiffany, thank you. So watch out here. WCT has 3 higher lows. It's still dilly-dallying with 3. My bias on this one is we get a rejection between 3 1/5 to 3 1/3. Let's see how this cookie crumbles. Shout out to Slow Motion for me, calling out DBGI. Nice breakout there, brother. Didn't do a whole lot yesterday, but was all sorts of parabolic in the aftermarket on Monday. This one, when all was said and done from the close, I think there, right around, where's the close there, Joey? 416, so right around, I want to say here, maybe to the aftermarket, over 100% in the aftermarket on Monday. Not much of a day yesterday, but hey, we're going to keep a close eye on this one. Let's see if DBGI wants to maneuver back down. $1.95. I'm an interested buyer there. 115 double top for whatever reason, selling off. Is that a prior area resistance? And another piece of the puzzle falls into place. That is the pre-market high from yesterday. Look at that. I want to say almost triple top or thereabouts. So this is a repeat offender area when it comes to resistance. Let's go ahead and earmark that area right there. 115-ish. DBGI should be in focus here. But we have to put some respect on the name of WCT. If this starts ripping above 3 1/3, 3 1/4, 3 1/3, it really depends on what I see, I'm going to get involved, okay? For a great possible, rounded bottom. It's not even a bottom. It would be a rounded top area. But I'm also involved here in STAK. I'm looking for a hold up above 45 pennies. I've wet the beak once. I'm looking for a move possibly into 280, 290. Let's see what Stack has to offer. WCT still in focus. Let's put as well DBGI on this trading screen, just so that if I do decide to execute on it, I can execute quite quickly. So here's WCT, man. It is making a move, guys. All right, here we are. Let's watch here. So nothing for me to do. Let's just continue to watch to see if we can take out these levels, but this is a good breakout. What it could end up being, and why I'm being so hesitant on this, is a lower high relative to the 361, 350 area high that we put in before, and then a move back down into around 275, which seems to be the base of this level. So keeping an eye on this one, Joey.
Yeah.
It's not a bad one, but I just need to see it prove itself now that it went into that prolonged downtrend.
Yeah, I'm doing the exact same. I like WCT, man. Had to pull that bad boy up. We're going to look to see if this secondary trend is going to hold up for us, or what Sharif's getting at is correct, is that, hey, we're just establishing a lower high. We're not going to get that momentum. So what we can do is just this basic trend line. If it breaks, then, you just get out of dodge. Walmart's starting to come in. There's some serious defense going on at 1642. With that being said, we've had multiple attempts at cracking through that level. We haven't had the ability to do so. So what are we going to have to do? Maybe absorb some more liquidity, tick a lot of people off, take out those stops, and then sure enough, bang, off to the races it can go. But if we go up into that level one more time, maybe I'll take half off of the position and let the rest ride. If it comes back into the break even, my average will be a little bit better, right? Sub 116. and then we look for that move. But WCT holding up relatively well. ATCP, what is that one doing? Forming a bull flag. And NVTS is another name that I was holding up. So you can see the support levels doing their part right now at 30-35s. So if we can catch the lower end of the range, that's really going to increase our risk to reward ratio. And if it just cracks, then give it a little bit of room. You don't want to be too tight at 30-36. You want to go down to probably 30s. And then at that point, you can be proven wrong. I'm not going to be buying into resistance on NVTS. So an additional pullback without a breakthrough, or what I would have to see in order for me to get involved at this specific level, is a heavy influx of volume. That's it. Like, there's nothing else. Otherwise, we've tested it on multiple occasions, and we couldn't break that level. But there it goes. Walmart right back up. We are consolidating. We're starting to chop around quite a bit here. So the longer the consolidation, the longer the sideways movement, the more potential of a larger breakout. And I mentioned I do like 117 here on WMT. We're holding up $3 there on WCT. Not too bad there, Sharif, in the market, starting to find somewhat of a rebound. Before we send it off to Adara, Sharif.
Yes, a DBGI, guys, in the day's high. It's taking out day's high as we speak, 16, 17. If this clears the quarter dollar, we could be on the move here. Keep your eye on DBGI. I stop out below $1 at Adara.
Bitcoin currently poised for its fourth straight red session. We actually were green this morning here as of when the watch list was sent out. Now we're flat to slightly red here on Bitcoin, which has bounced off that 65,000 level very early this morning. At least we haven't looked back from that level, so being able to hold 65K, let's see how that can last. Now, if you look here on the daily chart, looks like there's some support at 65,000 even. So earlier today, bouncing off 65,300. That 65,000 even level was touched here on Sunday, March 29th, and going back even further here, February 12th. So those are going to be, it's going to be a level that we've tested a couple times. Almost tested today. Let's see if how we fare there at that level on Bitcoin. Ethereum looking pretty similar here, also poised for what looks like its fourth straight red session. This candle on Bitcoin and Ethereum nearly identical. ETH, currently trading here around 1,850. Interesting look for a lot of these crypto-related equities. Now, Coinbase here near day's lows. MSTR near day's lows, though it notably did have a bounce here off the open. Take a look here. Robinhood, tangentially related to crypto, looking pretty identical to Coinbase here. So there's a lot of weakness here in any equity that is tangentially or directly related to BTC, the crypto space. Back to you.
Thank you very much. There goes DBGI into 18. It's getting a lot of selling, though, like just full disclosure. It's a thick trade. I thought it'd be a little bit lighter here ahead of the pre-market high. And again, that 115 level we spoke about, which we've cleared now by three whole pennies, right? But no, that 115 level did play a major part as resistance yesterday in the pre-market. There it goes, 19s. DBGI on its horse here, looking to get into the fifth of a dollar. And then, you know what's after the fifth of a dollar, Joey? The quarter dollar. Joey thought I had something important to say. You should have seen his eyes light up. He's like, stop talking to me, bro. There it goes into the fifth of a dollar. We're looking for more here, Joey. We're looking for this one to reach the quarter. Let's see what we got here with DBGI. Taking out the prior bar high, taking out 115 as the resistance level. But no continuation, sadly, through 20. We're going to continue to watch here. We're looking for a little bit more. What's my move, though? Well, currently, my move is I stop out below the dollar. But that can't continue to be my move because now I'm in at 108 and this thing's showing 120. So I have to have some sort of trailing stop. But I haven't quite decided what that's going to be quite yet. And that's the beautiful thing about trading these small caps, man. I don't have to have a rigid plan going ahead of time. I just have to have a general plan and then I kind of move with the beat that these ones have because it's a little different with these small caps. They're just so volatile. Anyway, so DBGI in focus. Also in any, looking for more. Where do we get in? We got in 75 on any. A bit of a spready one here, though. You'll see 75 on the bid and then 80 on the ask. So 4 penny spread at times on ANY, done 4 2/3 million shares. I'm looking for $5. Simple as that. You're in at 482. Let's see what this one has to offer in terms of a 5-touch. And last but not least, that's that halter, JALHL. WCT I haven't touched, and Stack. Hopefully you'll be able to, stack up some prints on this one through 275, 280, and into 3. And I just want to bring WCT into everybody's attention. I don't say this to dissuade you from trading WCT. Have at it, man. You want to trade it, you want to risk your own money, but what I was pontificating about was what painful experience is what I'm trying to say. These ones lure you in. Look at that. It popped up into almost 320 and it just lost the bid there in a 272. So I'm not saying it's done here, especially if it can recover, hold 275, and then move above 3.25. I think that would be a great setup on WCT. Alas, it hasn't done that, right? And then I was telling Joseph off camera, WCT loses its spot on my side chart if it loses 275, whether or not that's ahead of VWAP, because that would be a breakdown of structure. So that's not something that's going to interest me. So continue to watch that. There goes Stack into 273. We got 262s here on Stack. We're looking for 77s next. And then above that, we're going to wait at 282. Let's put a little order there, Joey, for 282. Sir. And how's Any doing? Any's going, baby. Any is going. We got a first print there. We got a couple of prints on Any now. And we're getting closer to 488 high on ANY. Not a big 24%, coming in on 25%, Randy. Can I tell you how much I love the fact that you're like amongst us now all the time here? Yeah, you're such a vibe, bro. Anytime I have a car thought too, just bounce it off me right away, right? So I don't have to be like, oh, let me tell Randy this, let me tell Randy that. I can tell him now. There you go, baby.
There he is. I want to do our boy Bravely a favor here, guys.
What's he doing?
We're going to give a couple of shout-outs here on TikTok. You can catch me in the TikTok chat, too. I just posted some people, Sam, a.k.a. Bullpick. There it is. Yeah, we're looking at what we got going on in TikTok, too, Randy, as we have 108 viewers currently right now. So what's up, Charles Tolliver, not Don Tolliver there, Sharif.
One of my favorites,
C-Dub, Foreskin, Traditional Development. Randy's in the TikTok chat. Steph, Coochie, Santum. Or did you want to go over any?
No, we're having a good time.
All right. Bravely, obviously. Ja Tinder, what's going on? Gregory, I hope everyone. Jamie, Big, Sorrel, Horse, okay. Nope, Lewis not found. Kilp, a couple more. Wolrez, Lucky, Burmail, Jay-Z, Dylan Fox, and Meow, Trumpy Wumpy. I hope everyone's having a fantastic one. Here it is, right? Like
$5 Any, Joey.
We're talking about the ebb and flow here in Walmart. $5 on Any, so you're not getting any price on that one. It's $5 specifically on that one, but we're still up 2.7%. We knocked into $116 here on Walmart. We're waiting for 117, so we have to diamond hands this. 20 cents ITM, nothing substantial, nor to write home about, but we have Any continuing to move.
And DBGI too, they're both going, Joey. You got Any ripping. You got DBGI ripping. Here comes $5 on Any. We're just pontificating about $5 at like 482. Here it comes again. Shout out to my man Slow Motion for me for pointing this one out. I didn't have eyes on Any. I didn't have eyes on DBGI. That's a Grenfell special. I did have eyes on Stack. And hopefully we're going to make some more stacks on this one as it continues to pop up. We'll take the beak wetter there at 73. We're going to pack the patience. We're looking for continuation. Homeless God? Why are you... I'm going to have to suspend you for a couple of minutes, homeless God.
You would give him 10 seconds.
You see what he said there,
No,
John?
what'd he say?
Like, he's flagellant on his side of the screen there, man. I don't want to know about flagellants, man.
See, the thing is, though, homeless God, it's like, why would you put yourself in that situation? Because, like, that can go so many different ways.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm
going to take it as he was just flagellant, okay?
Is that how you're going to?
That's how.
But see, that's the thing.
Only way I'm going to take it.
If we all thought the same, then the world would be a lot easier than what it currently is, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Not really. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Hey, no shots at anybody. But yeah, other than that, he was cool.
Yo, are you watching this? Any is ripping, guys. Any is on the move, man. Into 510. That is the high. Currently showing 505. We've now breached $5. So now we need to observe what the next steps are. And now my profit takers are going to get a lot smaller as we're going to let this one run into, there's 12, there's 15. The move is on any right now. We could see the $0.25 sooner rather than later. There is 518, pardon me, high. But look at the move down. Topping tail manifesting on any, right back into 5. What do we got? We got 475, so we have a bit of a buffer here. But that is an ugly looking topping tail candle to be expected, of course, to be expected. I'm not going to take out my out until the loss of, let me just see exactly where I have it here. Sorry, 1 second. I stop out below 460. Now, I may change my mind on that, right? Depending on how this candle closes. If it closes into a topping tail candle in this fashion that it currently looks right now, and then the prior bar ends up losing current bar low, I'm out. I'm out. I'm not gonna, sit there and hold this one into an oblivion. Watching DBGI, there's another high of day on DBGI. Into 28 it goes. Here comes 30. We're looking for 30 here, and then we're looking for 33. There's 29. There's another move here on DBGI. Very aggressive moves here, guys, in the world of small cap gappers, but, part and parcel of trading these animals is the volatility and the quick moves. So if you're new to this, use resting orders. Resting orders are orders that go out and wait to get triggered, and or use hotkeys because they don't give you that much time to make a decision here. I'm seeing things come in on the wire, and I hear Adara calling for us to go up to her. So that means we're going up to the big desk.
Massive move in oil, but a bit of a push higher, and certainly some headlines to mention. Seeing reports here that Iran's foreign minister, Arghachi, saying that Iranian forces are conducting self-defense strikes in sites that the U.S. is permitted to use to attack civilian shipping and to violate the ceasefire. So basically saying U.S. is violating the ceasefire, we are conducting self-defense strikes. Again, this is coming from Iran. Further adding that any hostile act will be met with a, quote, immediate decisive response. So more strikes here in the Middle East. Back to you.
It is with that kind of energy that I feel about this conflict as well. And there it goes again. Any right back above 5 into 515. So this one was a buying opportunity. 518 high here on any. The tape is really picking up because the buy and sell orders are really coming in and coming in quite aggressively. There seems to be a seller here locally at 10. Let's see if we can shake them. The current bar high is above 10, and there it goes again. Into 15, showing 13 now. I'm looking for a breach of the high of the day, so by definition, I'm going to post it at 20. There's 17. We almost got the high day. 18s again. 20 showing up. Can we cross? The answer is no. So it's a 520 high of day now, but it did not cross. As a result, I don't get the print. But we pack the patience. We continue to watch what the price action develops into above that 5. I'm happy I didn't stop out. Well, I'm not just happy, but I had a plan on that one. I wanted the loss of prior bar low. That didn't come in, so we didn't get stopped out. Simple as that. Let's go back to DBGI here. 129 high now, coming into 120. What is my move on DBGI? Well, we got 108s. Remember that, Neil? Remember that radio station, Energy 108? Yeah, there you go. Anytime I say 108, I just remember the radio station, man. It wasn't even 108, man. It was 107.9, but they didn't want to say 108, right? 107.9, I mean. So there we go. Who remembers that? Who's from the city here in the chat? You guys remember that or not, man? Or am I just the only one that's ancient? So continuing to watch DBGI, I stop out here below the 10 EM on the 5, which is ironically enough, right at my entry, 108. So those are the ones we're looking at, Joey. Looks like there's some resistance here coming on DBGI, and I'm also liking less and less the look of Stack's jib here, despite the fact that it is still above, the 10 EMA on the 5. It just doesn't have the juice, I feel, to get above $0.75, and here it comes again into my entry. I don't know about Stack. I don't know about Stack here.
These guys are shutting YMAT.
Yeah, you want to check that out?
Yeah, well, there goes YMAT for sure. Yeah, some nice momentum play there, guys. Here it is in Walmart. Are we going to break the high of the day at this point? Break of 116.40. We're looking to rock and roll on that one. YMAT, I can't buy, but it's a nice setup, says KC 526. Well,
she says it.
Yeah, then you have to look at it, I think, at that point. There it is. You can see the momentum and the volume really start to uptick in this bad boy. Do we wait for a potential pullback here? I think so. These momentum plays are a whole bunch of fun, man. So welcome aboard. powered Jay Wilson to the small cap Landia. Here it is on NVTS, holding up here at 30.35. We talked about, hey man, Sharif, whatever you got to do to scratch the itch, my boy, we got to get involved with some of this stuff here. It makes sense. Anyways, but no, in all seriousness, I do like this name for a potential breakup as long as we continue to hold. But then we have to keep an eye out on YMAT because everybody's mentioning it. So you get that pullback, you start to form somewhat of a base. Off to the races we go. Is any still climbing? Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, it's hovering around this $5, holding up there, Sharif. So nice momentum catch there. And then Finger, what's up with FNGR?
I took it off my side.
Not enough liquidity?
It wasn't doing anything.
Was it doing anything? It's not really doing anything right now.
Bad, Joey. I mean, a bit of a...
So is this something that I should continuously expect is just the lack of liquidity on some of these and then they can step in?
No, and that's why I try to stay away from those.
Yeah. So, we don't want any of that nonsense. And then devs, hey man, not doing anything right now. So we're cool, we're patient, we're cool like a cucumber, waiting for, oh, there it is. We did catch the break, ladies and gentlemen, on WMT. So we're gonna look to take a little bit off. The NYSE names continuing to move. There it is, 1650. Oh. Good things come to those who wait, they say, Sharif. We've waited long enough here on Walmart. It would be wrong of us not to take any profit. It'd be sick if I could change the actual ticker here, but it doesn't want to seem to allow me to do so. There we go. Now we're rocking and rolling. We take 33% off. You're going to see my average change right now. If we catch this fill here, Sharif, right at the 50s, we're waiting at 1650s. As soon as the bid hits that, we're going to catch something. So let's go, Walmart.
Oh, we're in trouble here. I think we're going to actually make it to 37. Remember you and I were talking about that?
37,000?
Yeah, because we were doing 80% off 125.
Yeah.
Right? Traditionally, 80% retracements have been the standard.
Yep. I'm telling you, it's not going to be good times. That's why I offloaded a bunch. It's like, listen.
I'm going to add. I'm going to add at those levels. I'm just going to be...
at that point, at that point. But I still think there's a little bit of selling in between there. I agree with you, right? And think about it. This is what I've said for quite some time. When you have this type of selling, don't forget there's somebody on the other side of things buying. Right? Just keep that in mind. Someone's buying this stuff up. We're going to send things off to Adair, and I'm going to tell you my own experience and my own long-term portfolio on what happened when I started to buy IBIT.
JKS spiking higher here. Nikkei reporting that Jinko Solar, or Jinko rather, I guess Jinko Solar is their full name. They are a Chinese solar company. They're reportedly supplying power to desert AI data centers. So Nikkei, once again, reporting here that JKS is a Chinese solar play, will be supplying power to an AI data center in a desert location. Back to you.
I'll read this out. Sorry, Joe. Just 1 second here. iMoto UI. Love the comment, brother, and not just because it's small cap related. Thank you for your insights on small caps. I started with a fresh $2,000 account last Tuesday. You want to read that? He hit $10,000 today. Incorporating your skills with my strategy has been a huge improvement to my trade. I couldn't be more pleased for you, brother. I know the feeling of finally, getting a little bit of gratification in this very tough world we call trading. So I'm very happy for you, not just because you're trading small caps like me, but because I know that it feels good. So very happy for you. Shout out to iMoto UI. And as I tell you about that, Tiffany, let me tell them about this. There goes Eni again into another area high, blowing through that 520 into 532. Eni is on the move here, and we've cleared 5. We've cleared 5 decisively here. Could this be a $6 stock within, a matter of an hour or so? 5 1/4 showing up here again, but it is 5 1/3 area high. Separately, I got the hell out of stack because it just doesn't look like the type of trade that I really should be focusing my energies on, especially with DBGI and ANY moving, and now I hear YMATs moving, which we're going to get to in a second. But I also want to bring back WCT, and this isn't just to take a victory lap, but this is exactly why I didn't get into this name. For this specific reason that I said, it was going to lure you in with a lower high, a bull trap, and move all the way back down into 275. In fact, it's lost 275. It's at 269 now. This is a great setup for the shorts. Like it keeps recurring all the time, prolonged downtrends, pops up, makes you think it's going to reclaim highs, only to make that lower high, and then goes right back into that base foundation, whatever you want to call it, support. WCT, leave this one alone unless it takes out 3 1/5. If it takes out 3 1/5, 3 1/4, we got a different trade.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you, Onion. Shout out to the Onion gang on that one. Keep an eye on 2 on it. Joey, yeah, exactly. I appreciate it. There we go, 31.42. We get in at 31.20s. That curl over. The post up at 38.80s would have been more ideal, but it is what it is. We'll take it. We're not going to complain whatsoever. We're still climbing in Walmart. $17 is going to be a primary target. Why? Because it seems like we're rotating out of some of the tech names. But let's go over to NVTS before we send it back to Adara and see what we got going on from a news standpoint. No, that's not the ticker that I want. But anyways, aside from that, let's go to Adara right now.
Hines. Now we know Capex is expanding across the board. Did you know Capex is also apparently expanding for Kraft Heinz? Kraft Heinz CEO, who again started in this position at the start of 2026, so relatively fresh, said the company might spend more than $600 million this year. That is more than they originally expected, so raising Capex guidance. It's also worth noting CEO saying that they're going to try to avoid price hikes, and they're planning to cover roughly 80% of their inflation costs in 2026. Also saying the company's innovation pipeline will improve next year compared to 26. So KHC CEO making some comments. Capex apparently also growing even in the food space.
It's pretty. It's so pretty. We go with.
Yo,
Yeah.
what am I going to say?
There it goes.
There goes any into 575. I said, could this be a $6 stock within a matter of minutes? It's still not, so I was wrong about that, or at least not yet. But it did rip up. 575. We do have the top on this one. We're looking for more, man. It's really about what is going to happen now, Joey. We're dropping. We're dropping bigly here, as my friend Donald Trump would say. Into 520. Do we get bought up? Do we hold 5? I've got 75s on this one, 475. So I'm going to get the hell out of there if it does lose 5. But that's a big, aggressive red candle manifesting now on the 5. Funny enough, ugly as it is, this red candle, it still hasn't breached prior bar low. So the trend is still intact. Prior bar low is 498. So I lied. I stop out at 497. It's got a whole prior bar low. Now, that was the good news. The bad news is DBGI feels like it's, on a reversion here. I stop out below 105. No, I'm not going to give it to VWAP. That's not the right thing. 109. 109. I think I'm just going to put it at break even, Joey. We're going to go break even. We got 108s on this one. We're going to go 108 for the remaining amount left. If it doesn't hold up, and there it is, right out. Straight to jail. Bang. Right out.
There it is.
It did hold. And it pops back.
Hold on, Sharif. There it is. Look at NVTS breakout on this bad boy. Thank you, our boy Chris Onion. We're gonna try to Deontay Wilder this until the dollar. That's only a couple of pennies away. The momentum is really starting to uptick. Do we get greedy on it? No. We got to be logical and take a little bit off. So we'll take 22% off and see if we can catch that fill on this bad boy. Now, 32.20 at this pace. You want to try and hold as much as you can for the high of the day break. Are we gonna get that? But when things break out and you happen to get in at the right entry, bang, there it goes. A nice little fill. We're long 31.21s. We take the 31.90s. Now we're going to print 32s on this dog here, Sharif. And we also,
good trade,
you guessed it, we have a high of the day on Walmart. Yeah, shout out to our good friend Wally over here on the NASDAQ now. We have to take, Wally's World, baby. We're going to take a little bit more off on Walmart, but not too bad, man. This is what we want. We want to look for strength. We want to look for some of this small cap momentum because that's what we are now. We're a small cap trader.
I love it. Yes, he's converted. Yeah. He drinks caffeine up the yin yang now, and he's trading small caps. Man. The conversion is
the caffeine intake isn't good. To be honest with you,
every time I see him at the coffee machine, I'll just smile. It's
bad, man. It's bad. I feel like I can't even. I feel like I don't even wake up until I have one of these bad boys now. And it took me a long time to adapt this stuff. I was never good. It still doesn't sit well with me, to be honest with you. But it's literally cracking a cup. So we get involved with that stuff. It is, man. Is it?
Yo, Neil gave you the look.
Why is it not NVTS? Neil gave me the wrong look, but Neil cuts it off. See, the thing is though, Neil, after lunchtime, he's like, no more coffee for me, right? If it's not addictive, there's no reason to cut it off. But at some point, you have to with this stuff because I mean, exactly. When it's bad, then I mean, hey, if it's good for you, no reason to cut it off. But a lot of people,
it's bad?
yeah, exactly, man. That's what I'm like right now.
Tyrone!
Tyrone!
Come on, Tyrone!
No,
Don't
man.
do that, Mr. Bigums. I love that Tyrone.
Someone said you've obviously never tried crack. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, we're good with that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, obviously.
Come on. Let me tell you something. Let me
tell you
Mr.
something.
Leahy. Get it, Mr. Leahy. All right, guys. There's lots moving. Finger's on the move. It broke out. Fantastic name. I'm going to have to take off the dot here. S dot's gone. We got to put the finger on back, Joey. So FNGR breakout through the 97. 90. Calm down, Sri. 97 penny level into 104 it goes. Good look on FNGR, but I'm also keeping a close eye here on YMAT because y'all called it out in the chat. I didn't like YMAT initially just because. This is NVTS. Why did I put YMAT? Sorry, let me just adjust this. So we're going to put NVTS. That's the one Joey's trading, but it does look good, so I'm going to keep it on there. And then we're going to take off, who are we going to take off? Lace. Lace is gone. We got to put YMAT over here. Alas. Oh, no. We got it to VWAP multiple times and are rejecting here on YMAT. This is an interesting one. I bet you anything, Bovin would probably be trading this. He loves these ones that come from the bottom into VWAP in the same way that KC526 loves those multiple halters. So YMAT, I'm just going to leave this on here, man, because if it does get above VWAP, does get above that 150 area, I might be interested, quite frankly. But it's going to have to set up in the right way, and quite frankly, at the moment, it's not. But Finger is going. Finger's back up to 107. It is at the day high. The volume is also picking up on FNGR, Joey.
Yeah.
You wanna?
Yeah. Let's go NVTS here momentarily. I'll send it right back to you. There it goes, breaking that $32 marker. Now into almost 32.50 streak. The volume and the momentum really picking up on this bad boy. We're long from 31.21s.
I love it. Good to hear, Joe. All right, guys. Finger is making the moves here into 108. It goes. It is on the move. I think it's. I hate to say it, decisive near the dollar. You never really know with these, right? But I'm going to continue to watch here. What I'm going to be looking for is just a little pullback here. We're going to take off DBGI. We're going to put on FNGR on this trading screen over here. I'm looking for a little bit of a pullback. Now, I don't want too big of a pullback. Like, I don't want it to lose the dollar, but my line in the sand is going to be 97 pennies, and that's because that was a prior area high. That was a double top at 10, 10, and 10.15, right around 97. Turning into a topping tail candle now on the 5, into 102 it goes. Let's watch here. I could get in here, give it to 97. That's a reasonable risk, right? About 5 pennies or so. Let's continue to watch. What do we got here? There's a buyer in at 101. Nope, 102, 101. There does seem to be a buyer. Let's go in. We're going to give it to 96, and we're going to all the way down to 90. Man, the Stream Deck always gets in my way, bro. Okay, so 96 we're going to put. So there we go, F1, there we go, 96, stop out 90 for that many shares. All right, good. So let's watch here. What did I get? I got 103, okay? Let's set up some beak wetters here at 107, and then the high of the day is 109, so I'm gonna leave one right above it. We'll see what we get. We won't get upset. Shout out to my man, Neil. We're gonna continue to watch FNGR here. I'm also not liking the way that ANY is looking here, man. Topping tail candle. This current candle is red. I'm going to stop out if it loses prior bar low. Prior bar low on any is 513. Let's go ahead, put 509. How many shares do I have left? 509 on any, okay. So then we'll stop out into 5 for that many shares. Let's lock in the profits on that. Oh, no, it's turning against us, Joey. Finger gave me the finger. Now. Crap. It looks like it might stop out here. It's dilly-dallying now. A little above a dollar, a little bit below the dollar. Ooh, that one could be trouble here. We might have to give a little bit back here. 97, 96 now showing up. We're going to have to stop out here on Finger. That was a quick stop. Let's just see if it does drop off a little bit here. I'm just going to give it a little bit of time, see if it can recover. The bid back, the ask is back into 99. Not quite dropping down now, so Let's leave this one a little bit of room. Back into the dollar-ish area we go. Yeah, gonna watch this one, Joey. I think the best trade is behind this one, though.
All right, man. Good look there. So, yeah, I agree with you, Chris Onion. We need to break that 32.40 level. And if we do, another couple pullbacks, and I think we can test for the high of the day. That's what we're going to be looking for on this bad boy. Walmart's still hovering around the highs, but, man, we're talking about flipping the script here on Tesla. Peak over here at 432. Now you're down to 23, so that's $10 just like that. DRAM printing this right at the volume weighted average price. I like it as you have MU and SanDisk continuing to move here today, but the financials absolutely hot garbage. And then you can see that the SPY is at some key support levels at 755. Same thing here with the NASDAQ. As long as NVDA, the fact that the market was holding up this well and NVDA was tanking, that's good, right? You're not going to complain. CrowdStrike was finding its way. Bang, there we go. We take a little bit more off on this bad boy, NVTS. Let's go for that high of the day. We're going to leave the rest for the dream here, Sharif. Where exactly is that? We're going to find out right now. 33.48. So another dollar or so from where we're currently sitting at. Might be a little bit of a stretch, but my question being, is there going to be a good reload opportunity so we can get back and engage in those shares, a nice curl up holding trend. So now we want to add more to some strong names, and that's going to be Walmart too. Walmart actually coming back in pretty aggressive. We have to be prepared to get out of that bad boy, but you guys know what time it is. It's now 12 o'clock. It's happening now. And then
can I
Neil,
just say one thing before we go?
with his lesson today, yeah, for sure.
YMAT, guys, even though it's just below VWAP, I'm starting to observe that this is a very clear area of support at $1.25. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be a good trade, but just watch out here. $1.25, there's a buyer. It could squeeze into the $1.50. Be on the lookout for that. All right. Sorry about that. Send it up to Adair.
Here is the USO to start this happening now, because what started happening, I guess, at this 11:30 candle is an account that has been attributed to the foreign minister of Iran posted that Iran's armed forces are conducting self-defense strikes on sites that the U.S. is permitted to use to attack civilian shipping and violate the ceasefire. So this is not the first time today that we've heard that basically Iran is engaging in what they believe are retaliatory attacks, as the U.S. is being, I guess, accused of violating the ceasefire. Basically, there's a lot of concerns here about the state of the ceasefire, and as such, USO below pre-market highs, but certainly climbing here from intraday lows. If you take a look here at the S&P 500, that is near intraday lows. NASDAQ actually a little bit above intraday lows here. We know NASDAQ, at least in the pre-market, was buoyed by MRVL still holding on to a decent chunk of this gap to the upside at second straight gap up after CEO Jensen Huang of NVIDIA praised the company during MRVL CEO Matt Murphy's Computex keynote. Let's talk about GameStop. GME, the fun does not stop for this name, at least it didn't pre-market. In terms of growth, it's kind of an interesting story here. You had hardware, accessories, and software segments both declining year over year for revenue, but collectibles revenue up 65% year over year, and apparently that was all that this needed to post year over year revenue growth as a whole. Good look here for Ryan Cohen and co. Let's talk about Broadcom, because they report after the bell tonight. Hawk, Tan, and company. We've got CrowdStrike and C3AI also reporting after the bell, so pretty decent night for earnings reports. Broadcom here, analysts are looking for 2.39, so $2.39 your earnings per share. Revenue of $22.04 billion, so let's see how they perform. You can find Broadcom and CrowdStrike earnings previews already on X at TTV Research. The C3AI earnings preview will be posted in about 35 minutes, so stay tuned. And also stay tuned for what should be another exciting, fun, engaging lesson of the day with one Neil Roberts. Neil, tell the people what you're looking at.
I want some participation today. So first of all, everyone out there, if you're listening for the lesson of the day, then I want to make sure that you are in the chat. And if you are in the chat, that means you're subscribers. So hit the subscribe button, jump in the chat, because I got a task for you. I just want you to type a 1 or a 2. I'm going to give you a proposition. I want you to pick one. Okay? What do you choose? Do you want to get $100 but pay 2 bills for it? Or do you want to get $1 and pay 50 cents for it? Which one do you prefer? You want to get a crisp $100 bill that only costs you 2 bills? It's a $100 bill. Or would you like to get a little loony if you're in Canada, or a little measly single that you can maybe have fun with at certain establishments, but it only costs you 50 cents? So throw your votes in here, and I was gonna lead with this should be the first 100% poll out there, but there's actually votes that are coming in for the second side of it. So I'm gonna let the votes matriculate in. My disappointment is probably growing at this moment because we have 25% people making a completely irrational decision. And on top of that, like, it's actually growing. So there's probably some trolls in there. There's 30% of you are trolling, or maybe we don't understand the question here. The reason this matters for trading, the reason this matters just for financial literacy in a general sense, is just starting with the financial literacy side. When you ever hear someone that's like, yeah, they're like rich, but they're poor, imagine somebody who is absolutely riddled in debt, but it's like drives a ridiculously nice car, lives in a huge home, but has zero liquidity, debt to their tits. Like they're one mistake away from being completely bankrupted. Like there's that person, or there's a person who lives well within their means, lives in a reasonable home, drives a reasonable car, has tons saved, their kids' educations are paid for. Maybe they don't have all the flash out there, but they're doing just well. You can make your own judgments about which one you want. In that particular case, in trading, you can't. At the end of the day, a person with a $100 bill is a person with a $100 bill. And a person with a $1 bill is a person with a $1 bill. But if you paid $200 to get that $100 bill, you're an idiot. Because you lost money, right? Well, I mean, I shouldn't say you're an idiot, but it's just not, it's not optimal, right? Like at the end of the day, something is only worth, when you're making a transaction, what you paid for it. That's also true of a trade. At the end result, your account is what it is. Your P&L is what it is. But what it costs you to make that trade also matters. So oftentimes what will happen is on an individual, we can't keep the bigger picture in mind, and we will lose sight of this fact. Because if I'm taking this SpaceX, let's take the SpaceX IPO, let's imagine, and I'll throw this away, how 36% of people actually voted for that. I appreciate you guys trolling, sometimes that could be fun. Sometimes that could be fun. I suppose that could be fun to troll. Let's say I'm taking the SpaceX IPO next, which we're going to, next Friday. Regardless, is it going to be a big event? Is it going to be a big opportunity? Sure, there'll be big P&Ls made or lost in that particular day. But if I simply look at whether I made money on it or not, green or red, and that's my only way of respecting the trade, then there's going to be something that I'm going to miss. Now the example, remember Cerebrus or Cerebrus, however the heck we're supposed to pronounce that one? Let's see if I can, first of all, let me see if I can actually pull up the first day on a chart, just to give anybody that doesn't know what happened here. I can tell you that it opened at $350 and went straight away to $385, and then that was the best you could have ever gotten, and then it absolutely flushed after that. So I can tell you that, but I think it's a little bit better if I quickly show it to you. This is the first day of trading, right? So it was long here. That's a 10% move instantaneously, and then it pulls back in. Now the way that, I've already openly told you, like I said, like on the day of and after the fact, I was openly critical of myself for giving up too much. It was still a big day, but I gave up way too much from the top. The reason why you didn't see me cheering my biggest day in the month, and this is important, the reason that is true is because the amount of shares that I had, if I got the slippage instantly and it just broke the bottom, and I simply lost and didn't get any win, I did not make enough money to have justified the alternate reality in which it never had a bid at the beginning. Because that's the downside risk. If I'm just simply taking the opening print, if it immediately fails, I'm just getting there in whatever slippage. Based on the slippage that was there back through 350, I did not make enough money for the alternate reality in which it just immediately went against me. It happened to work. But I cannot just simply judge myself based on that. What did I risk to make the trade? It's that simple. Now, had I taken more shares out on the original Halt, taken more shares out on the reopen at 370, that absolutely would have been true. So that's what I decided to focus on. And I know I saw a lot of it in the chat. Neil, you were way too negative. Neil, why can't you be more positive? Do you know why that's true? Because I like being positive. This is the only positive that matters if you're a trader. So if I make a trade in which I have taken a win, but I know that the amount that it cost me if it just quite simply lost and I had it all and I lost at my stop, and I make less than that, I am not happy. And I will never be happy. And I don't care if that trade was worth $1, $1,000, $10,000, it doesn't matter. If it cost too much risk-wise, then I've engaged in something that is eventually going to lose me money if I make it a habit. And this is the thing about the market. And I'll never forget when there was a trader who used to say this. And there's all kinds of things I never put words to here. But this was one that has stuck with me. The stock market is perfectly willing to reward you for making mistakes. What will get you into trouble is if you turn those into habits, right? So think of it like this. A trainee, and we've had this happen, a trainee comes in the door and gets like the minimum shutdown here on the trading floor. Say like, I think it's like $50. Most of the time it's like $50 or $30 in your first day, whatever. You get their $50 shutdown. I'll just say what it was when I started, and you're a trainee, and you go live for the first time, right? And they punch into a long position, and they just hold. This is either going to go on. This actually happened. This is a guy in my training group who did this. He's punch into a long position, and either this is going up or it's not. I'm risking my 50. It's just that's it. They don't have a stop. Either the system's going to flatten them or they're going to make money. At the end of the day, they're up. They're up like $10 or something like that. And we had a thing where like your goal was to get more shares or whatever it was. I forget exactly the metric. Get positive P&L more than 10 or $20 or something. Because you're on like 100 shares with a 50 risk. And it's like, do that for 3 days in a row and you get a little more BP. So think of that along the lines. So they satisfied that rule by simply having, I'm just going to punch long, risk the 50. Once I'm up 10 or 20, or I get out when I make the 10 or 20 at some point during the day, and then I bank the day. That happens to them 3 times in a row, they get more risk, right? So it's like basically just a coin flip where they have $50 worth of risk. The goal was to make 10 or 20, which is a small amount. So they do it 3 times in a row and they get more risk. Is that viable? Is that actually a good idea? Of course not. Because the time they lose, you lose $50. So making 10 is meaningless. Like that 3 days in a row is just pure blind luck. And then what happens, here's the problem. They get the more risk, and then instead of 100 shares, they do that with 200 shares. And you're doing that same pattern where you're risking 5 times what you're actually taking at a profit to make that $10 goal. And then your risk goes up, and now you're applying that same absurd logic with twice as much risk, where you're 5 to 1 loss to reward to, or loss to reward. It's completely insane. And I watched somebody do this. And of course, what do you think happens when they get stopped out? They're just losing 2 weeks worth of effort. So when I say, the reason I put up such a ridiculous example, which makes no sense in the world, who would actually want to pay $200 for a $100 bill? You lose $100. It's because I have seen traders do this for years. They're not explicitly doing it, but they are implicitly doing it when they are risking more than if the trade just failed. If you buy up the 100 level and sell it 101 with a stop at 99.50, or you're risking 50 cents. If you take 90% of the trade out for 20 cents, that ain't gonna work, right? Unless that last 10% goes really, really far. And that's what I was getting at with this Cerberus, and why I was displeased with myself. I'm not making it about it. I'm making it about me, not anybody else. This is why I had my best day of the year and I was not happy. Because to me, my executions on the way out made it so that I did not gain enough profit relative to what I had risked on the trade. Not that it lost, it didn't lose, but what I had risked on the trade. Because I know what I did risk on the trade. And the truth of the matter is, nobody knows it but you. You have to put your stop order in. You have to take your shares. You have to have your strategy. No one else is going to do it but you. I can give you a million lessons You can watch Sean's trade. You can pay attention to Sharif and Joe. You can hear stories from a million people. You can watch YouTube videos. You can read books. But at the end of the day, you have to get into position. You have to have a stop. You have to see where it is that you get out. You have to make the profit-taking decisions, and you have to evaluate your trade. And if you can't do so honestly, then you're never it's almost impossible to be consistent if you can't do that honestly. And sometimes that's going to be me being a party pooper and sounding like a punk when I'm sitting here telling you that I'm not happy with a winning trade. That was my best trade of the year. But if that's not in your repertoire as a trader, then you're not treating it like a business. Because if you want to make an income doing this, and if you want to be consistent doing this, then you've got to be serious about it. It's way too difficult, way too hard a game not to have that kind of a drive. So anyways, look, the market is, it sucks today. It's kind of red. So I can't even tell you that. The lunch was okay. It was a meh. I don't know, like that beef chili. To me, like if you're gonna have chili, I did eat it. I haven't had my vegetables yet. The vegetables are okay. Too much rice. But if you're gonna do chili, like there should be some kind of like chili powder in there maybe, like so it's actual, not just ground beef. Like it said chili, but it's just to me like ground beef. Where's the flavor? I don't even know how I want to grade it because I'm not really done yet, but it is what it is. Disappointment there. But just to finish off, it's okay. And in fact, I think it's a good thing to be self-critical. Because ultimately, like you have to, like when you're trading, you're accountable to yourself. Nobody has ever, I mean, as a floor manager, as an office owner at Real Trading, I have had traders who their P&L, I'll make a cut of it because Sean and I own the office. But they were risking our money. So like that is what it is too. Like they lost, we lost. But no one ever really gets paid outside of anything but your own decision making at the end of the day. So be accountable to yourself, and try to be as honest with yourself as possible. I think that's really, really important. No one can do it for you. And anybody that says they can, maybe they got a system that can help you with it or an idea that can help you with it, but you still have to make those decisions yourself. You've got to evaluate yourself, and you have to make sure that the amount that you are risking or paying, I call it paying for the trade. What did you pay for that trade? That's what you would have lost at your stop. What did you pay for it? And if you paid more money than it makes, you better have a 90% win rate or 70% or whatever. But I've been doing this a long time, and if you're 50 to 55%, then you're a good trader in terms of a win rate. And making that work is how you can be consistent. You can make money on a consistent month-to-month basis as a trader with a 50 to 55% win rate in your individual trades if you have good risk to reward. But the problem is most people don't. Just being real with you. And that's the one, they're paid too much for the trades that win. And it's that simple. So have fun, enjoy your lunch. I've been talking way too long. That silly IPO isn't even open yet. I'm not sure I'm even taking the print on ADDX, but if you do, good luck to you.
Thank you very much, as always, to Neil, for that awesome lesson. I want to talk about GOOGL. Now, Google made like a whole host of announcements this morning about their Gemini MAUs, lots of strength there. Now, though, GOOGL announcing, or specifically Google Labs announcing a new feature called, and I'm not joking, Dream Beans. Now, Dream Beans is a new AI feature available today on Google AI Ultra if you're over 18 years of age. And basically, this feature will allow you to generate personalized daily stories. Unclear why it's only available for users over the age of 18, but either way here, new Google AI feature on Watch. Back to you.
Watch this, Joey.
Oh, yeah.
Neil, watch this.
Someone wants to know why Sharif in the back still has a job here, because he never wears a shirt. But
it's freezing in here, by the way.
The point is, it's a trading floor. We want people to be as relaxed as possible, because when you're feeling good, you're trading good. Here.
And you saw it.
Someone wants to know why Sharif in the back still has a job here, because he wears a shirt.
4 years ago,
4
years ago to the day. 4 years ago to the day.
To this day? To this day? To this day?
Okay, Wilder, man. Used to come into the office with my cutoffs.
Yeah.
I was a trader, right? You come in however you
man.
please, bro. Right?
Exactly. To this
come
day.
in. You want to wear short shorts. You can wear the short shorts. You want to wear cutoffs. You want to wear a jersey. Have at it. The funny thing is, when they asked me to be on the show, the first thing that Sean said to me, I won't forget it. He's like, "Yeah, we'd love to have you on. You got to wear a shirt, though." I was like, "Oh, come on now, man. Like, what do you mean, man? This is my thing." They already know me for not wearing a shirt, but In any event, man, good times. Love every minute of coming into this office, man. It's been 4 years. It's been more than 4 years, actually. It's almost been 4 years and a month.
So all right, good. Thanks for letting us know that, Ramin. That was high quality information.
Why? She's such a liar. I've never seen her once on the subway.
Yeah,
she's lying through her teeth.
High quality stuff there, guys.
I've never seen you on the subway, man.
NVTS. $34, we take it off right there. So that was a nice little move there, guys. Almost hit the $3. We're sitting in Walmart right now, so we piece it out. Thanks, Chris Onion, for pointing it out one more time. We're going to hold on to this bad boy. We've reduced some off of the highs here. Now on the NASDAQ, tripping me up because Walmart used to be on the NYSE, right,
yeah.
Shreve?
Yes,
now
sir.
in the NASDAQ, but we're going to hold on to this dog here as it continues to climb up 3%. So not too bad of a look. And there goes Tesla sliding the market, moving a little bit lower. What is our big dog? NVDA up to 216 and change. Now 311 on Apple, Google at 358. Hey, come to El Chapo, man. Yeah, come to Poppy here, Sharif, as we continuously slide a little bit. If we can get some of the 356 there on this bad boy, I think 349 is a good level for me to start buying this.
All right, I'm in SBEV. So we got 27s on. Here comes 30. It's a thick trade. Weird price action here on SBEV. Barely moving, by the way, and it takes a lot of shares to move it on SBEV. I'm looking for continuation through 30. It is a 29.48 high. Be on the lookout here. It just feels top heavy. I don't know if this is easy to short. I'm trying to find it up on my scanner. I don't know why I can't find it. SBEV. Oh, there it is. Yes, it is easier to short. I don't know whether it's free on our platform or not, but on my IB platform, there's 170,000 and a half shares available for borrow. So I'm just using my platform, not as an indicator for the entire market, but just to give me some sort of idea of whether this is easy to locate or not. Anyway, it does feel that way, just given the price action. It feels like there's a lot of chop and churn with very little actual price accretion or move down. So that is the look there. I also want to mention that SOAR, I'm just going to use it. It's soaring to the high side there into 39 pennies. It looks fantastic. It's up 21.5% or thereabouts. 39.10 the high, 38.85. This one has been, the money fills have been into the 20. So if you're patient, just put a resting order there and mirror the 20 moving average, which will always be the yellow line on my chart. But, the more shallow retracements seem to come off the 10. So if you put one on the 10, you're likely to get filled quicker than you are on the 20 because the 20 dips are few and far between. So those are the two that I'm kind of interested in at the moment. I was telling your boy Joey frickin' Options over here when Navitas was at like 32 and change. It was about to take out that 32.75. I'm like, brother, this is going to the top. Great trade by Joey on that, man. He caught the top on that. Shout out to your boy Joey Options, doing it frickin' live. And here comes SBEV in the 30. There goes 30. It is 30.75 high now. There's 30 and a third. Let's wet the beak there. Let's look for 31 now. Take out less shares at this level. Let's put 31. Let's put 32 as well. And I'm going to put some, can you believe it, at 33. So this is all predicated, again, upon it continuing through 30. You don't really know. Again, it feels like a thicker trade. So we'll have to see how this cookie crumbles. Yeah, that is it. By the way, I want to mention any. So this one did tank and looks quite ugly, but hey, it's back above 5. It's at that critical area, 5 1/5, 5 1/4. So I'd be looking for a clearing on any over here. It does look okay, not the greatest. I do like the VWAP hold, especially on a 3-candle basis. I'm gonna like it a lot more if it gets above 520. 576 topping till candle, you know that. We watched that happen in real time. But I could get back, on the ANY train here if it shows me what I need to see. And here it comes, 518. Let's see if we can flash 520 super quick. I don't necessarily want to take a breakout trade on this though either, but it is a 3-candle green setup at the moment. So yeah, so those are the ones, guys. I'm going to keep my eye here on any. I'm going to keep my eye on SBEV, and there it goes again into 31 1/3. SBEV back above 31 1/3, flashing again. Can we see 32? Continuing to watch. There is the third. Can we get half? We got the half. There's 75 into 32. There it is. It's just go into 32, man. Goodness sake. I hate these, like, tenth of a decimal or tenth of a dollar, you know, spots here, because it just makes it such a thick trade because there's so many different areas that the shorts can post sell orders at. Anyway, it goes into 32, but it doesn't cross. That is the high of the day. And there it is, 32, 32 and a half, Joey. It's on its horse right now. Here comes 33. We're basically on the door of 33 here. 32.96, but no continuation. 32.96 high of the day on the beveraged one.
Okay, good stuff.
SBEV.
Good stuff. All right, welcome, Arena, to Trader TV Live. That's what I'm thinking, right? Like, you're gonna have, Jesse, we're gonna have to wait until closer to the end of the day if there's gonna be some form of a bounce. Right now, we're just starting to pick up steam. Look at the SPY go to the downside, right? Being led by the financials, and you haven't even cracked the LOD. So maybe there's a little bit of a laggard play here in the NASDAQ, but what you don't want is some of the other names to find a rebound. I don't know if that's necessarily gonna be the case today. We were chopping around the volume weighted average price for quite some time, and then boom, off to the races it goes. But also, there's another way that we can look at it. As we funnel out of tech, where are we going to rotate into? And you can see that Walmart and Costco and some of these retail names are holding up, and the staple names are holding up relatively well. XLP, let's head over to that dog. The Staples ETF, consolidating, haven't broken out yet. So we like this. We'll be patient. We're going to continuously hold on to our last little bit. Why not? Just because you may as well leave it for a runner. We had NVTS earlier in the day, so we're just going to stick to the guns that have been working for us throughout this intraday session. Now, heading back to our watch list, we'll go through a couple of names. How has Dell been after that big-time move? 467 all the way down to 412 right now, so you're getting a 10% pullback. I think at this pace, be prepared for at least 40 to 50% of this gap to be filled before you find any form of a turnaround. What was another dog that was on a run for quite some time? We'll take a look at HPE. See how Hewlett Packard
on HPE.
Yeah, it's really breaking out, man. But I mean, $63 down to $55, that's not too bad. You're not going to complain about it. You grabbed 16% just like that, especially on those big moves. But we have SNDK tapping into almost a new all-time high. I think by a couple of dollars here, Sharif. Not too bad. It's only a matter of time until you see 2,000 on this bad boy. DRAM doing the exact same thing. This piece of crap, NASA. No, I'm obviously being highly sarcastic. We grabbed a little bit more, but I'm willing to hold this. If it breaks this low, then, I mean, by all means, we're just going to be bag holding a loser, but I'm okay with that. 10.7% of it being SpaceX. That's exactly why I want to hold this. Katina Man stepping right back into the building. He's strutting over there. He's got the lunch rolling as well, too. Just came back from the gym. And look at Coinbase go.
That's beautiful right there, man. And you got the rice.
The rice looking pretty good.
Stuff, man. Did you get some of the shakshuka this morning? It wasn't even shakshuka, though.
It was just egg. It was just egg.
Right.
Coinbase is going to break this support level and head a little bit lower. The exact same thing we were talking about crypto not too long ago. IBIT. I mentioned this as soon as this trend line broke, guys. It's only a matter of time until $35 breaks. That's what we were talking about on options this morning. We have the highest amount of open interest at that level. If that base and that floor snaps, watch out for this whatever you would like to call it is not really in play, guys, and it's going to take some time. Wait for that latter half of the halving cycle in order to maybe start to buy some. But I mentioned this earlier as well, is that when you have people selling, Sharif, on the other side, there's someone buying this stuff up. So
typically, that's how it works, Joey.
Yeah.
But yeah, here it goes. Guys, SBEV is just a rocket ship. Look at this, man. From 27 into 37, I know that's only 10 pennies, but it's a percentage thing, right? Continuing to watch, 37 and a half. We still have 38 unfilled, 37.55 HOD. This one could see 50 pennies sooner rather than later. So I posted at 38. I'm going to post here at 39 as well. I'm going to post at, can you believe, guys? I'm going to post at, where am I going to post? Come on, tell me. We're going to post at 40s. 37.72. We still haven't gotten the 38 print. I need to know what my move is going to be here, though. What if this tanks? I stop out below 30. There it is into 38. It is absolutely ripping. SBEV Is this still easy to borrow? It's still saying 125,000 shares available, 129, 127, so it's moving now. As shorts, 126, it's dropping. I'm talking about how many shares are available for short on my platform, that is IBKR, and I'm not saying that it's reflective of the entire market. It just gives me an idea of whether it's gonna be a thick trade or not. SBEV, if it's really going here. Here comes 38, we're still waiting. 30, well, we already got 38, didn't we? We're waiting for 39, excuse me. 38 and a half showing here. Here comes 2/3. Here comes 39. We're pretty close. Nope, back down into 37 we go. Now, separately, I did maneuver here into SOAR. I stop out on SOAR below 36 pennies. The reason I'm in on SOAR was for the reason I said to you guys earlier. The moves into the 20 EMA are few and far between. You got it 11:05, you got another one 11:40, and now we're getting one 12:25. So I'm gonna take my shot here, and if it loses 36, then I'll know it's substantially below the 20, and I'll get the hell out of there, okay? So that's what we're looking for there on SOAR. Let's see how this cookie crumbles. Uh-oh, SBEV turning into a topping tail candle. This one's a prickly one over here. Let's watch. We're going to take out some more shares here on the descent, lest this one lose the bid. SBEV, their numbers are so bad, it can only go so high, says Webcoin. Well, brother, you're not wrong in, you know, the longer term, the intermediate term, but with these ones, it's like traders with big accounts that can move the stock so aggressively because the float is so small and their account is so big. So sometimes they're completely irrational. Completely irrational, the price action here. So everything you're saying is right. You know, the numbers will speak eventually, but sometimes not on the day. I'm not liking the look here of SOAR's jib. It is below the 20 EMA. It is about to stop me out. I'm not liking this one here. It's got to recover. I need to see it move into 38 or 39 because it's making me a little bit worried here. Finger, I gave this one the finger earlier because it stopped me out, Katina, man. But we're gonna look at this one again. The reason is it's straddling VWAP here, right? And it's technically putting in a higher low. Look, area low at 11:05, and then you have another area low 12:15, 12:20. Can this one break that downtrend and maneuver back above the dollar? So that's what we're going to be keeping an eye on. All right, good look here for SOAR as it does pop back off into that level. I'm looking for a bigger move into 40, maybe even 50 on SOAR. It's not up big, by the way, guys. We're only talking about 16% or so, 15 and 2/3. So it's not like SBEV where it's, you know, triple-digit territory.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I was keeping my eyes on some of these small cap names. What Tariff was mentioning here earlier in the day is what's going to happen at this key inflection point on any for the high of the day break here. Yeah, or it's going to be a failed high, like you mentioned the other day, or not too long ago this morning. So we're going to keep our eyes on any Sphere 3D, man. Shout out to them. Let's see if we can get some momentum and volume start to uptick. The high of the day break is going to be roughly around, let's call this is more accurate, 578. There it goes, Tariff, a nice little uptick there. So let's get involved in this bad boy on any form of a downtick. We need the volume to really start to kick in. There it is, man. You grab 20 cents just like that, Tariff. And now off to the races it goes. Let's get a horrible entry on our behalf, but hey, let's hold on to it. Just in case there's any form of a pullback, we'll be prepared to add a little bit more. You start relatively cool, but we're holding on to this big dog right here, and that's Walmart. Shout out to a company that's hit the $1 trillion club, the only staple to hit the $1 trillion club. But I think that group of individuals and stocks is going to get less and less, more and more crowded, I believe, at some point. But yeah, let's go break that high of the day, 570, and we're still holding on to this big dog, Walmart. What were you going to say?
Terrible. I don't want to bully anybody, man, but this is just getting out of control here. Terrible just posted Britney Spears' new video.
Yeah, she's spiraled, man. You can't even say someone. Man. No, she's past spiraling. She's fully spiraled. Like it's done. Yeah, it's tough, man. You see a lot of people go down that road. But yeah, when remember she had that little stint when she was like dancing in front of the camera with knives and stuff like that. I'm like,
she didn't have knives in this video, but it's much of the same.
What is she doing, man?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a tough look, man. It's unfortunate. I wonder what just like, I wonder what clicks and it just makes people kind of go down that path.
Well, the Katina man's mentioning her parents, and I think he's absolutely right. The custodial thing, right? It's her dad, right? It's her dad, yeah.
That conservatorship.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, like, but what does that have to do with you losing your mind?
I'm just assuming it's probably the relationship with the parents that may be a little bit, tumultuous there.
But why are you in a, like, my question is, obviously we're just going down a road where we truly have no answers to it, but if you're in a conservatorship, there must be some form of reason.
Yeah, because she's not well psychologically.
Right?
And then
So
the
I guess
judge
it was
kind of
just like a snowball effect.
Yeah, right? It sucks, bro. It's tough to see.
Hey, man.
Yeah, it is what it is, Joey.
Yeah, there goes Walmart new high of the day.
Do you think it has anything to do with being like child famous?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah, because
absolutely.
I feel that that's a repetitive habit.
Look what happened to our Macaulay went through it. Our boy Jay Beebs was going through it.
Jay Beebs is going through it. He
I don't know if he still is, but you know what I mean.
He's a lot better.
Yeah.
What's his name though? The guy from Transformers that we were talking about.
Shy. Oh yeah. And I love Shy too, like, which is
Charlie Sheen. Perfect example there. Chris Onion. Yeah, man.
But Shy,
and I love Charlie Sheen, man, because I love 2.5 Men. Like,
you like that?
Really
you like Charlie like that?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. Shy, because Shy is extremely talented. And he just went down that road. Oh yeah, and our boy that I was talking about. That is probably the worst case scenario. Had the most potential too, and then just absolutely lost it.
Super good actor.
Exactly.
Too,
and I talked about our boy Orlando Brown, who lost it as well.
Yeah, the one we saw yesterday. Why are you laughing?
Because he's actually he's like funny spiral. He hasn't completely lost it, whereas for some of the other ones, you're concerned about what's going on, even though you are slightly. But what he says and does is a little bit funny.
It's an awkward one there. Eh?
Yeah.
Well,
Orlando
Stop
Brown.
laughing.
And even our boy Cat Williams went through some rough times.
Cat, yeah.
Remember?
He's hilarious.
But remember when he was getting beat up? Remember he was getting beat up by teenagers?
Why would he put himself in that position, though? That's what I didn't understand.
Yeah, same.
But did you ever watch the one with him and what's that tight end called, Katina Man, with the podcast again? The big black.
Brian Shannon.
Shannon Sharp.
Yeah,
Shannon
I was saying Brian Shannon.
Yeah, no, not Brian Shannon. Shannon Sharp, bro, the tight end.
Yeah.
He was on his podcast. Remember? Like,
Yeah.
That was pretty. That was a pretty.
Well, with Cat Williams, he was just narking on everybody.
He was talking about Diddy before everybody knew about Diddy.
Yeah,
that's the thing, right?
Just
so that's what
narking on
gives you
everybody.
insight. Anyway, let's get back to work over here. Thank you. Oh no, Casey, 520 frickin' 6. Uncle Sharif.
That's crazy, man. It's insane work. There goes Annie through the high of the day, though.
Good job, Joey. Uncle Sharif, need your help with TJ GC in at 383. Do you see a resumption and what are the levels? Think this was recently T12 and open now. Let's take a look. TJGC. Let me just pull this up. Last trading screen over here. TJGC. Have a look here, Joey. All right, just give me 1 sec. Where's my trading screen over here? TJ. I'm not seeing the resumption on this one. Are you able to check resumption, Katina Man, on TJGC? TJGC. I can't get this one right. Give me 1 sec, Case. Let's look at the chart over here. Wow, there's like no volume on this, Casey. My days, you always get me. Pull this up on a trading screen. We're gonna take off stack. 12:30. Yeah, thank you. Give me 1 sec, okay? So we're halted up here, $4, it looks like. That's the halt. It's not making it onto my scanner because of the volume, that's why. So $4, we halted at 280. Let's look at the daily. Okay, so we're right here. So this was a breakdown. We gapped down super aggressive. 230, the day low. I like that move possibly into 5, Case. I like the move into 5, an old area of resistance from late April, April 24th, April 27th, $5 resistance. Clears it, right? On May 1st. Look how many days in a row it used 5 as support. This could gap up into 5 case, but I'd be wetting my beak. Obviously, you're really good with these halters with no volume. That's your world. But I would be wetting my beak at 5, just given the fact that it was local area resistance, so local area support. I feel like it's going to feature here some way, somehow. So that would be my move on that. Thank you, as always, for the $5 super chat. Shout out to Casey. Here it is. Let's load this up. Thank you, Katina, man. Here's the halt. So it's limit up. So the reason is LUDP. You said it looked like it was a T12, but it's changed. Right now, it's just simply limit up. Resumption time. So that's that's the resumption time. So it likely will be a 10 or plus minute halt. We'll have to wait and see. I'm going to keep this one on view here. TJGC for anybody who's interested in following along with KC 526. But before we go to Adara, we have to shout out your boy Joey frickin' Options for absolutely taking ANY. Assassino, you're killing me over here. Into 585. Great trade, Joey. Good look on that. Way to stick to your convictions. Good call out. We're going to Adara.
Keep an eye here on the market and on USO. Seeing reports, keep in mind this is coming from Iranian state media, so be aware. But Iran Parliamentary Speaker Galibaf reportedly saying that the era of, quote, cost-free threats against Iran has ended. Any aggression will be met with, quote, regretful response. So more threats here coming out of Iran. We had comments from Aragachi, who is another individual in the negotiating team, to similar effect earlier today. Back to you.
All right, there goes our boy Walmart. Wally's World up to 3.3% there. Katina, man, you're looking at that dip buy at 12s. You're going to be in $4 ITM right there, my big dog. So Walmart, a nice bounce. And I mentioned this earlier. We're getting that rotation probably out of tech, some of the tech names, and we're heading right into Wally's World right now. Walmart. What's the founder's name again? Sam
Walton.
Walton, not Altman.
My dad made me read his book.
Yeah, I remember you were telling me about that.
Me on it. So what ended up happening was my dad, before we went private, was with Shoppers Drug Mart. He was an associate.
Yeah.
He's kind of like a fake owner. You don't actually own anything on paper, but you own it legally. But you're not the beneficial owner of the money. So you end up earning equity every year. You get more and more equity in the store. Make a long story short, we left that. But before, his story was in Whitby, and a Walmart opened up in Whitby Mall, which was like a throw stone away from his store. Bro, can I tell you, it had the biggest effect on his business in a way that was so deleterious. Like everything, brother, everything. They had a pharmacy, they had front store, they have everything in their mother's cousin, and as Shoppers at the time wasn't trying to engage in a price war. Like they were just hey, we're premium, you know, come buy from us.
Here,
It was like year over year comparisons were bleak.
Yeah.
So my dad made me read his book.
Read what's going on over there.
Anyway, yeah, so that was a tough time for my family, needless to say. But yeah, you come out of it, right?
Exactly.
So we're still holding here, guys, on SOAR. I'm looking for a bigger move into 40. It does feel like a thick trade here. 39.44 seems to be the area where we keep rejecting. I'm holding still here on SBEV. I like the look of this one's jib. Where's my SBEV trade? Oh, there it is. But it does feel like it's a flat bottom break candidate, right? Right around 30 pennies. Look at all the lower highs, and now it's just like, you know, barely holding on for dear life. I've put my stop in play. I've got a 3 penny buffer. If this one wants to hold VWAP, hold 30 pennies, make a big move back up. I want to be a participant, so I'm going to steer clear of the stop out. We go break even on the stop out, Joey.
Good stuff, man. We're almost going to hit there it is. Bang. Wally hitting that 117 marker. We were talking about that earlier today, guys. That'll be roughly around 3.5% on this bad boy. We can pull up our any trade. There it is. We'll post up on Walmart and take a little bit more off and then just leave the rest for a runner for the remainder of the session. There's no reason to take any more. So a nice little play, and then we'll just look for some more continuations and some more momentum. So there it is on Wally's. We'll head over to any and see what we had going on there. We were looking for the high of the day break, and then boom, not too bad. So Hey, Travman and Jesse, we were talking about step 57 in a 3-step process. Well, we just eliminated one. So step 56, we're looking pretty good here in a 3-step process. Now we're starting to come back in. We had the high of the day break, any up 40%, so not too horrible. We're continuing to move here, guys. And Walmart had that hefty slide, right? Just after earnings, this thing just tanked. I believe it was like around 12% or something along those lines. And then now we're starting to recover. Longer the consolidation, the bigger the breakout could potentially be. And that's why we're running into $17. We'll head over to the daily. And I mean, on the grand scheme of things, it's nothing crazy when you're down about, what are we at? What are we down here now on Walmart? 13%. So are we looking at a discount? You know who's also down 13% off the highs?
Who?
Google, thanks for asking. Google is now down roughly 13% off of its all-time high. So, hey, if we're talking about walking into a discount store, Sharif, here it is potentially on Google. And also what we had. How has Meta been performing on the day? Right? Like we were thinking, oh, okay.
That's green, brother.
It's the only one that's green. It's starting to form somewhat of a bull flag. Can buyers step back in? The issue being the NASDAQ extremely weak here today. Froth we're talking about? I think so. And there goes NVDA from a pivot high of 217.30, now back towards the low of the day. Hotlanta, what is going on here with this name? This is a bad rejection candle. I thought by the end of the week, with the path that we were currently sitting on, we would have seen a new all-time high in this bad boy. Doesn't seem to be the case, as sellers are still engaged heavily for some reason. I'm not going to try to figure it out in NVDA.
All right, Bovin, I'm looking for a break above 410, Bovin. Bovin's in the house now, so it's about to get serious. He was telling me about lace, and my answer to Bovin was lower highs. I don't want to be dealing with the sellers between 395 to 408, 407. So what I was saying to Bovin is I'm interested in lace. I certainly am. It's above VWAP. You know, it's a big mover on the day, but it's going to have to finagle a move here above this 410, 415 area. Look at this consolidative range. Last time we tried to take it out, Bovin, look at that topping tail candle, inverse hammer candle that manifested right at 11 o'clock. Now, this could be a double bottom of sorts, and the break of the neckline would be, I want to say, between 410, 405 to about 415, something in and around that level. So we'll definitely keep an eye here on LASE. We were involved in this one earlier, but leaving that one for now. Grunfeld says XOS is moving. Not a bad look here, Grunfeld. I don't disagree with you at all on that one, brother, but it's still suffering from, trading below the volume-weighted average price. I like the fact that VWAP and the $7 area are in around the same area, so you could get some aggressive moves here. 713 high on the day. VWAP showing 691, 7 resistance here on XOS. Sorry, didn't put in the ticker. XOS on this monster. We'll see what this one has to offer. But for now, Grunfeld, I'm going to steer clear of that. Shout out to Grunfeld. Crap, hold on. Yep. 1 second, Assassino. I just got to resize this screen. It went wonky on me over here. All right, Assassino says that we have a super chat, Joey. Let's do this.
Yo.
High Trader. Oh, this is for you.
All right,
I didn't
what's
see
up, High Trader? Where's a guy from Australia? We haven't heard from him in a while. All right, Joe, have 22 contracts, I'm assuming, open long on IREN. Strike price at $70. Had to take dog to emergency vet. Came back minus 4K. Expires.
Sorry,
what am I doing? Yeah. That is not good. Make sure you have access to your brokerage on your phone. I hope your dog is okay, first and foremost. Minus 4K, the only thing that really matters, man, is that your dog is okay, High Trader, because that money comes and goes. It can be like a revolving door, and you know what, brother, it's not real. Yeah. But taking care of your dog is important, but make sure you have access to this, your brokerage on your phone, so you can deal with things. Also, set some stops, man. I know we talk about it all the time. Just put those orders in there so you don't come back with any forms of surprises, because it's happened to me. But yeah. Why, what did Eddie say?
Come on, Eddie.
Eddie.
You can't be like that all the time.
Oh, that's pretty crazy. But I mean, if that's how you go by your day to day, then that's each to each their own, right? But at the end of it, It can be replaced. It comes and goes. You spend it, you save it, you do whatever you want. It just continuously comes around, man, especially if you're seeking it. So, yeah. And sorry, like literally, expires Friday, the best thing you can do if it's not going to pop up. Let's actually look at IREN. Sorry, yeah, I don't even know why we didn't even pull this up. Hello, wake up a little. Wake up. There it is, $65. Yeah, so.
Go. Like that one?
Yeah, I think I was more or less singing like a rock and roll song. It wasn't really coming to me. But IREN 7029. So you're buying those out of the money, and then sure enough, when you dive $5 or so, they're gonna hit even heavier. And what can you do from just a loss standpoint? What can you write? You can probably do the exact same contracts, considering, I don't know, in 2 days if it's going to climb back up to that level, but what are they even offering? $100. So is it even worth it? You go a little bit higher, collect $150. It's better than nothing, to be honest with you.
Katina, man, before you came back, I was showing a video that I posted on Instagram 4 years ago. It was on my story, so it showed up. And it was you and Neil, basically, because I was trading behind you guys on the floor, and like some people in the chat want to know why Sharif still has a job here since he shows up to work without a shirt, right? It was great. Bring back great memories, man. Cause you weren't here when we played it, so I wanted to tell you. All right, guys, we're continuing to watch SOAR here into 39.70, baby. Look, we're not up any discernible amount here. We're in at 37.54. It says 38 on the screen because it rounds up, but we got the half penny here, 37.54. We're looking for 40 here. There's a lot of accumulation. The dip trade that I picked up was the specific area that I articulated to you guys, which was the 20 moving average on the 5, always exponential on my charts, especially my intraday charts. Well, the point that I was trying to make was we got a couple of 20 pullbacks here. They're few and far between, but they do manifest. So, you know, third time, maybe a charm. We'll see if we can take out 40, 39.70 high right now. This is where we got in. We got in right here on SOAR, but it needs to be compliant here. And it needs to take out the area high. Separately, I'm still in the beverage, SBEV over here. It's kind of bull flagging, ugly topping till candle. Of course, 38.88, 38.888 is the high of the day. I'm not, you know, buoyed by the fact that we're putting in generally higher lows, but I'm kept a little bit optimistic by the fact we're still holding above the 10 EMA and VWAP, and it is putting a decent pattern in, one known, of course, as the bull flag. So we'll see how this cookie ends up crumbling. I want to let you know that NVTS probably has another move here. Yeah? Look at this. Look at this. Look how it's forming a bottom. It's starting to set up again. All right, so it feels like NVTS could be him right now. It could make another move here into 33 if it gets really aggressive, taking out 34.17. Well, who is that?
Bro, it's my boy's cousin. He was like a Toronto rapper. I didn't even know.
He's born the same year as you.
Yeah, man.
He's only a couple of days older than you.
Yeah, man. September 24, 92. And he died. I didn't know he died, man. Yeah, I didn't know.
March?
Yeah, in March of 25. So, yeah, man. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Jay Wiz, go check out his music. It's actually one of my old good friends, my high school buddies, his cousin. Yeah, I didn't know. I was just looking at something, and then I seen, you know, Murder Beats?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's like, rest in peace, my dog. And then I'm like, I looked at his story. I'm like, okay, what the hell? And then sure enough, I just looked it up. So there it is. Some more Toronto unfortunate rapper gang violence. It's actually really bad here, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there's
like
been
smoked
a lot
up. You know what's crazy, dude? I don't know if you probably that kid is crazy, legit. I'm surprised he's still alive, to be honest with you.
And like that lawyer who acquitted him, Gary Grill, I worked with him.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Is he that good?
He's really good.
I'm assuming he got off some pretty hefty charges.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was murder one, bro.
So anyways, so this place on Queen Street, right at Queen and Spadina, I was going to meet my cousin, and he's like, I was just literally at the Eaton Center here, and he's like, all right, come over to this day party at Cube. Calls me a couple minutes later, and then that scenario, I don't know, Adara might know him, but this Toronto rapper, Smoke Dogg, just got right in front of the club, got, unfortunately, just like that, boom. Yeah, man, that was a long time ago. It's pretty crazy what these guys are doing. It's all not worth it. As you get a little bit older, you just be like, man, what is this nonsense? You guys are arguing over words, essentially.
Casey's is this TJGC is just ripping here. Great call out, Case. It was halted at $4 for about 20 minutes, and now it's halted at $5.50. So get it. Anurag's talking about it. Bovin is talking about it. It is gone, says Bovin. Yeah, it is, man. It's done 38,000 and 38,3/4 shares on the date, still negative. Fofo, says Assassino. Remember we were looking at Fofo earlier, Assassino, but we had to take it off because, does it actually? Fofo means cute in Portuguese. Shout out to my man Assassino, man. Let's take a quick look here at Fofo. Yes, it is ripping. Fantastic pattern there through 640, 724 high, but you know, the good times, they last for very little on these kind of ones, especially the illiquid ones. 724 high, now showing 656, so it's about 75 pennies off the high. But we're going to keep Fofo on there. Just based on how it's moving, I can already tell you it's likely a little spready. So be on the lookout there. Finger just lost the trend. Watch out for that. It's on the way down. FNGR. What else are we looking at here? I'm still holding SOAR, which is basically just insisting on not crossing that 40 penny area. So I'm going to keep an eye out on that. Shout out to Jesse Hernandez. Speak a little Chinese for them. 我说中文很小 Adara.
Keep an eye here on USO, guys. Sky News Arabia reporting that no significant progress has been made in the current round of talks between Lebanon and Israel, which are currently taking place in the U.S. Furthermore, a declaration of, I guess, any kind of memorandum of understanding or intent paper that's not going to be announced reportedly in this round of talks. So it sounds like we didn't get too much out of what I understand is the fourth round of talks between Lebanon and Israel in the U.S. Back to you.
There goes SOAR into 41 pennies. There we go. So it's taken out the top. Guys, now we can start thinking 50 pennies here on SOAR. Okay, it's an MX stock, so by default, you know it's on probation as a possible bamboozler, but so far so good. It hasn't bamboozled all that much. Respect for the 20 moving average on most occasions when it does dip in there. Mostly respectful of the 10 EMA, give it aside from the times it goes into the 20. But now we're waiting at 42. Let's go ahead and post at 43. We're not going to post at 44 because that's an unlucky number, Joey. And we're going to post at 45 above it. I don't have floor 4 in my building.
Oh, really?
Floor 4 is like the new floor 13.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's an unpopular number in Asian culture. So continuing to watch that. There it goes into 41 2/3. We're looking for 42 now here on SOAR. And by the way, SOAR is not easy to borrow on my platform, much unlike the SBEV one was, which is now not available for short anymore. So they've exhausted all the shorts from that. All right. There was like 125,000 shares available earlier. Fofo is halted down. Careful with this one, guys. This is what I was concerned about. These illiquid ones are terrifying. 724 high. We're halted down now at 611. So, yeah, that's what these ones do, Joey.
That's what they do, man.
That's what they do, man.
Here's NVTS. Thanks for pointing that out again, Travid, bouncing off of those lows, putting in a higher low, which is pretty good. You could just get out at the break and then reassess the situation if you're looking for another entry. But we're just rolling through. Any's starting to come back in a little bit, but nothing crazy. If it starts to move and the momentum picks up, then hey, we can get another high of the day break potentially there. RGTZ, this is the Rigetti 2X. What is this name? I heard somebody mention it, and it was pretty strong this morning. And that was it. So the only strength was in the first 45 minutes of this session. Other than that, it's given back the majority of its jib. Tesla, too, weak. Climbing higher, was going up of the overall market, but eventually succumbed to what the selling pressure was stepping into the overall. But now, as for everything else, we could head over to our larger cap scan. You know who's going to be at the top of the list here typically. Nokia, once again, right there, putting in another pivot high. So not too bad of a look. 93.8 million shares traded here today on this name. Not performing well, man. POS, man. NVTS, what's up, Randy? I hope everything's going well. $34. Let's see if we can head back into that neck of the woods. And Intel. Let's take a look at your XOM, Randy.
Can we put him on?
Is he
somehow? If you get like the 2-shot or something of his head,
from over
like,
there,
stick it into our monitor. This is fantastic.
There it is.
There he is. Look at him, guys. I love.
Hey, you get a dollar. hey, Randy, you get a dollar divvy on that bad boy. Really? Yeah, I mean on.
Why are you laughing, Ram Ram?
On XOM.
Okay.
You're in XOM, aren't you? Yeah. These guys loaded up with XOM, so you're catching that dollar, divvy.
Giving it out, man.
And also Rivian Automotive here, Sharif.
Yes, sir.
A nice little breakout. This is going to be a big time
Did you hear
breakout.
what the Katina man said this morning?
He's going to drop the R2.
No, he didn't say that completely. He said he might pick up the Juniper, and then once the R2 comes out, he'll take over the Juniper, and then Marissa will drive the R2.
The R2. All right, man.
By the 9th, it'll be up.
Hold on. I think they want to hear what you have to say, Randy. I don't know. Is it?
Yesterday you said it was on one. You said it was one bar.
Charge it up. So,
Okay. I don't know. We got one bar. Yeah, I mean, look at the climb that Rivian's done in the last month. A lot of hype, a lot of expectations. The 9th is around the corner, and when we see deliveries out the door by their next quarterly report, bingo bango.
Yeah.
This thing's gonna go. It's gonna rocket. So, good things finally coming. We waited a long time for this. The Georgia plant, there was some stumbles there. You know, a lot of rethinking and re-engineering on RJ's part to get this cheaper. What was 9 miles of wiring or something they took out of it?
Ridiculous.
It's just crazy how much improvements they've made to the platform, and they brought the price down.
That's the thing.
So
That's the needle mover.
Right. It's affordable. It's accessible. Eventually, it'll get up here. Again,
We'll be the
I see lots and lots of upside here. So
I agree.
Roll the hype, watch the news, and go long.
Why did
Because
Tesla make the move that it made? I know Tesla's got so many other features, but it made a move on the back of its car business originally. And I'll submit to you that is because of the cheaper EVs.
Cheaper
Right?
EVs, the cheaper models are moving. They're bringing stuff in from China to get around the tariffs. Semi sales are starting to roll. Europe sales are actually up. So they're rolling.
today,
They're
yeah.
rolling.
Saw that
They're
today.
moving inventory, which they had a problem with, we know, in March and February. So they were sitting on a pile of inventory. So they're actually moving inventory, which is a good
Makes
sign.
sense, because like, why would a lot of people are probably like, why am I dealing with this oil BS? I could just go buy an electrical vehicle.
So the cost of energy has pushed some people into the EV space. Whether that's a long-lasting initiative, we don't know yet.
Right.
How long this war goes on, we don't know.
No,
But once people are in the door and they have an EV in their driveway, then what? They're not going to sell it just because oil's going to go back down. They're now in that space. Okay. Then you've got service. You've got maybe I want some upgrades, and maybe I want FSD. So there's additional revenue streams there.
And the beautiful thing about FSD is you can get it after if you want now,
You
and
can.
it's not going to cost you 11 grand at point of sale. Now it's going to be better for them, but I'm thinking it's probably better for the customer as well because you can, break this down.
It's monthly recurring revenue, so it's another recurring stream that they can tie into. So again,
hopefully before I'm 40, I can just get a cyber cab. And just
do you want to live that life, the non-driving life? Is that what you want?
Heck yeah, man! Just type it in the old GPS.
You don't want an option though, like having FSD on the car.
I could go that.
When you want to drive, when you don't want to drive.
Just go to sleep and get to work.
At times, right? But also having.
I'm sure that's going to be illegal, but I think that's a very valid point there, Sharif. Having the option is always good, right? Just in case.
All right, SOAR breaking out, guys. Here, 43 pennies. We have to go to Adair though.
Beware, guys, I'm seeing a couple of different reports circulate, all of them citing Fars Media, suggesting that apparently the U.S. and Iran have been outlining a 4-stage deal plan. Looks like Iran specifically outlining this plan, but again, working with the U.S. This is citing a member of the media team and negotiating team for Iran. Basically, they're saying the first stage here of this 4-stage plan is the end of the war. After that's established, then they have to take some concrete executive measures. There will be 4 of them, the first of which is the issue of the Strait of Hormuz. Also going to be talking about lifting the blockade and oil restrictions. So again, that's all phase 2. Phase 3 is going to be talks on sanctions and the nuclear file. So that'll be of note. And then the 4th and final stage here, forming a monitoring committee to implement the understanding. So 4-stage U.S.-Iran deal reportedly being formed here by Iran. This is also being reported again by Iranian state media. So if I get more details, I'll keep you posted. Back to you.
It's really important information there. Okay, so I'm just going to go through this again. I know you went through, but I was just distracted. So first stage focuses on complete cessation of military actions across all fronts. Second is the implementation covering 4 key issues: the Strait and related mechanisms, the blockade, oil restrictions and sanctions, and the releasing of part of their frozen assets. The third, broader sanctions and nuclear negotiations. That's probably going to be the sticky one here, I'm assuming. After objective and verifiable measures have been implemented. And fourth, what? Monitoring committee. So that's going to be probably the other tough one there, because typically what ends up happening is when you get the deal, then, you know, they comply sometimes, they don't comply others. And what are you going to do? You're going to start the war over again if they don't comply? That's where it gets prickly here, man. Oh boy, I hope this ends. But anyway, nothing to do with me. Continuing to watch here. SOAR is ripping into 43, 44.40. Here comes 45. The move is getting a bit more aggressive, which means that, you know, I feel like some of the shorts are caught offside here. Here comes 45. We're going to have to post at 46 as well, because 45 seems like it's right at the door. SOAR's not even up that much, man. 40 and change, 40% and change. Really good look here on SOAR. Thick trade, but it's getting a little bit better. I have a bias that this one probably finagles up into that $0.50 area. There's 45, big seller at 45. Can't see any print above that level. There's a big seller here on all the different exchanges, right around 45. Let's see how this cookie crumbles, Joey. What are you talking about? Oh, Bovin. Bovin just took stack. Boom, he says. Get it, Bovin. I was telling Bovin in the chat, I'm like, I like QMCO, the other one he told me about, better than stack. 2 seconds later, Bovin stacking up the cash right there as the cash falls from the sky into 285. Good trade, Bovin. This one takes out 290. You're going to see 3 probably pretty soon. So great trade by you, brother. We hope you print up multiple storms. Still holding here a lot on the beverage. SBEV continue to hang out above VWAP, held 30. Now it's back into 35, still below the 38.88, which is the high of the day. Let's wet the beak here for you know what and giggles, but we're still waiting at 39. We're still waiting at 40. It held VWAP, so it gave me no reason to get out. We'll see how this cookie crumbles here, Joey. Bovin is long stack from the 59s to 59. Shout out to Bovin. Great trade there, Bovin. Keep us updated on that. How we doing here on SOAR? We're still waiting, man. 45 pennies on the dot is the high of the day, and we haven't printed anything above that. We're going to pack the patience. We're going to send you to Adara.
SpaceX IPO update, GS and MS here. Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley both popping up a little bit as we're seeing reports that Anthropic's IPO might be led here by both banks. So again, Anthropic reportedly tapping Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs to lead their initial public offering. So sorry, not SpaceX, but Anthropic related IPO news here. Back to you.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear, right? So,
did you hear some of the negotiations there by your friend Elon? And you know how he was trying to extract things from these investment banks that are going to be the underwriters to the IPO. He's like forcing them to buy his shares. I'll get the exact details in a second, but it's something that I haven't personally seen negotiated in an IPO. So much negotiating leverage that he has. Well, if you believe, you know, some of the reports about what he's trying to get from these investment banks, man. So
what's he trying to get?
I forget the details. Give me like 5 minutes just to pull it up. But he is trying to get some stuff. He's trying to get them to give him like special advantage in certain things or buy shares or something.
Remember when he needed funding for Tesla and I believe it was whatever other company he was starting? They're like, all right, you can choose one or the other or split the money, and he decided to split the money. So he's like, yeah, screw you guys. I'm gonna give right back. Here. Yeah, absolutely. What? All right, guys, there it is on any, right? Walmart, 3.5%, right back towards that high of the day. We like Walmart here. How is CrowdStrike and some of the other names? Stacked, way to pick that one out there, Bubin. Make sure you keep tagging Sharif, and I know you're going to tag Sharif, but that's a big-time move. The liquidity most definitely kicking in on this bad boy. Hey man, you got you got some gonads, my friend, if you're buying it up in this e-liquid areas and then boom, off to the races it goes. So not too bad. S-Dot, how have you been performing here today? We were trying it earlier this morning in the pre-market. NVTS looks like it's gonna break down. I like that we had that initial move with that breach of the high of the day, and then you wick that and then start to come right back in. So we'll avoid that bad boy and see if we can find something else. MINR. Minor here, not too good of a look, very illiquid. In Austin, Texas, $4.23, so not too bad, $3.80 all the way up to there, so you got 53 or 43 just like that, not too bad of a look. And then Sharif was trading this here, FNGR breaking down and heading towards some key support levels, but it's only moments away until we hit a new high of the day here in WMT. Now, moving forward, did you find that thing there, Sharif?
So
All right,
listen to
talk
this,
to us.
Joey. Okay, so typically, major tech IPOs pay about 3 to 5% fee to the banker. So there's number one, there's 21 underwriting banks led by Goldman and Morgan, but there's a lot more. He's only paying of that industry standard 3 to 5%, he's paying 0.75. So needless to say, that's a huge savings there. And then something we already knew, he insisted on a retail earmark, 30%. In a direct break, it says from mega cap norms, where every retail investor is lucky to get 5 to 10% of an IPO allocation. Musk managed to get 30% of the entire float. That's about $22.5 billion in shares for retail. And then an all primary offering allocation. So he's forcing a strict structural design. 100% of the shares issued must be newly created Class A common stock. He's strictly barring the banks from executing secondary cash out shares for existing venture capital backers or board members or execs. And he's enforcing his 85% voting rights. So the underwriters must successfully market an offering where public Class A shares, voting, super voting shares, which he gets 10 votes per share. So they have to abide by that. And then there's a 366-day lockup integration. So to prove to the public market that he has zero intention of treating the IPO as a liquid exit vehicle to fund other ventures like X or XAI, he required the banks to bake in a strict 366-day personal lockup period into the prospectus. So interesting. I mean, it's not as different as I thought it would be. I thought he was asking for a bit more. But there is some stuff there.
That lockup period, I mean, what is the percentage of the float that's being released anyways?
We talked about this. It's less than 5. It's 2 to 3, right? Because he doesn't, remember the 5% minimum for the Russell 2000 or the Russell 1000?
Is that what it is?
Whatever it was. Yeah.
So that's where I stand. Like, I just find it weird. Like, and if you have the lockup periods, wouldn't that just create like an insane amount of demand? Really, especially if a lot of people are looking to get involved in this.
But I wonder if the SpaceX employees are subject to the same lockup period. Like he was talking about the investment banks there, though, right?
Yeah. But I think it's more or less for the majority shareholders, right? Like the larger guys. I don't know about.
Also, listen to this. So people who work at SpaceX on the factory floor, there's about, I think, 2,000 or 3,000 of them, something like that, okay?
Yeah.
And they're creating this union to negotiate with the investment banks directly so that they could pay less. They want like...
of a fee?
Yeah, directly for them. And so he would actually, so this is a little bit different than what I was talking about, but he would actually hold these twice a year liquidation events where SpaceX employees could sell their SpaceX shares on the private markets to people who were interested. And so it was like twice a year only, and then everybody already knew that it was happening, and so that there wasn't too much volatility in the price. He had been doing stuff like that.
I think that's that's not too bad of a way to look at it.
Yeah, it's a trap, though, says Travman. Yeah, a lot of people are talking about.
A lot of people are saying that.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying it's a trap. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. Yeah. I don't know. Do we got Adair? Do we have any more information if this thing's happening on the 12th or not? I'm kind of just getting the feel that it's not.
So I've heard the 12th. This was going back a couple weeks now that we've heard the 12th. I've heard no confirmation of that. I did hear reports yesterday suggesting we get more info as of today, but I have not seen any info yet today. So yeah, this 12th thing is very much up in the air still.
Yeah, it's we'll wait and see, Joey. I mean, who knows exactly what's going to happen here, right? But
I don't think it's happening on the 12th. I mean, that's next Friday.
That's next Friday.
So you would get, I think you would think you'd get some
Friday, huh?
Right, and you would think you'd get a little bit more of information based on what's going on, considering it's only a week and a bit away.
Exactly. Here comes what's it called again? SOAR back into 45. It had a bit of an aggressive sell. It dropped into about 42.5. It held the level, and now it's right back knocking on the door of 45. But this would be a triple top, guys, on the 5-minute chart. 3 candles in a row have all rejected 45 pennies here on SOAR. So there is obviously a seller of note that we can't shake. So we're going to have to watch this. Now, my question is, if we take out 45, do we kind of jettison up into that 50 penny area? Because that's currently my bias. Sorry, my feet are hurting. So that's what I'm looking at there. Separately, Case, I'm involved with you here. TJC, I stop out below $6. I'm looking for this one to break through 707. Small shares, though, because this ain't my thing, right? So we're looking for a bigger move here. Let's see what we get here, Joey, on TJC. Oh,
we're going to dog this here. Let's see, man. Hopefully this isn't a false break on any, Sharif. We were hot. Hot as a butter, or knife through butter. Anyways, right, stop where I'm at. Let's see if we can get this sub while I'm ahead here, Sharif. See if we can get a little bit of a pop here in any. If it breaks down, then hey, man, it breaks down. But I like our chances breaking through this $5.40 marker. What do we need? Obviously, volume and demand north of the price that we're currently at. Sharif, we put some size on that bad boy to see. I don't know why this specific trade. Is it the smartest thing to do? Nah, probably not, but it is what it is.
So Adam James Abroad is heading to Florida right now. He was on an Air Canada flight. So I was like, yo, where are you? Come to Toronto. Look what he said.
Yeah.
Heading to Florida. I may come to Toronto to Veld Festival.
Oh,
it's
cool.
Not July. It's August.
I don't know when. I don't know when
I'm pretty sure
Veld is. All right. Yeah. Holler at us,
usually
man.
in August, right? Yeah. If he goes to Veld,
Veld is the same week. Is the same as Carabana weekend. I'm pretty sure.
It is.
Yeah.
So it's the first week of
it's
August,
the first
right?
week of August.
Civic.
Yeah.
Civic
Exactly.
weekend.
Yeah. Exactly. So, all right. We also have Dundas Fest this weekend. If anybody was curious, unfortunately, it's supposed to rain. So the one festival where I was gonna break my my dry streak here, Sharif, doesn't seem to be happening. So the gods must be speaking to your boy and saying it's not happening.
Is it actually raining though, or is that just cap?
Says, bro, look at the weather network.
Did you look at the radar though, Joey?
The radar doesn't go out that far, my boy, unfortunately. So. Yeah, there it is in any. We're rejecting that 540. We have that strong uptick, but no follow through so far. But what we do have is a high of the day on Walmart. We like that. Over $1 on that bad boy. We'll take it. It doesn't even matter really at the end of it here, Sharif, because we're getting hit heavy on this any trade.
Yeah. Bovin is absolutely printing. Absolutely, Bovin. You ask, you get, man.
Ooh.
You get immediately.
Slaughtered.
There goes Stack into 3 1/4. Bovin's got 59s on. There's 328, Bovin. Here comes 333. We're probably going to see 350 after that. STAK up 71%. Light on volume, but that doesn't deter Bovin, nor does it affect his trading style. 7.18 million shares traded on the day. Great trade there, Bovin. Keep your eye out on Stack. What a breakthrough, that 280, 290 area, and it absolutely ripped up.
Sick.
I got to get out of, what's it called? SBEV over here. It's at 28. It's failing VWAP. That's the end of the trade. We took a little bit there in the 36, but that ended up being a lower high and no good, as I typically say. I'm still holding, though, SOAR, because now we've got a triple top with higher lows into 45. There's a 45 seller. Whether or not we can shake that 45 seller and move into 50, we'll wait and see. I like the pattern. I like the chart pattern. I like the higher lows. And I like my entry at 38. Gives me a bit of a buffer. The 20 moving average, by the way, is at 40. So if this dips into the 20 moving average, I'm going to have a decision to make here, which is whether I want to add more, right? Because initially I got in on the dip into the 20 moving average on the 5. So does that play a second time? We'll have to wait and see. And then I'm still waiting here on something to happen here on TJC. It doesn't look like it's going to hold up here for whatever reason. Kind of doing nothing. 650, 660 a little bit, but it's putting in a lot of red candles here. So I think I'm going to flatten out this one. We'll take it out. We'll focus on QMCO, which just got into the area high. So let me take out finger over here. Let's put in QMCO. There we go. Area high 1470. I'd like to pick this up at around 14 1/3, 14 1/4. Oh boy, SOAR just dropped. Ugh. All right, I have to make a decision now, right? Because we're looking for that 45 break. Here comes into 41. There's 40. Wow, what a drop there on SOAR. Is this the add spot? We're going to add here. Okay, let's add right there. That changes my cost basis a little bit, but not by much. I'm looking for the hold up here that we just got a touch at the 20. on SOAR. So let's see if it holds up for now. I'll start wetting the beak at around 43, 44 if it does hold up. Shane B. Smokin' dropping 5 nice ones there in the chat. Thank you for the super chat. Trading bot is up 10.8% on the day, 61% over the last 12 trading days. I think I built a money printer. Consistent results since March. Good to know, man. Keep at it, baby. Great for you. You know, your boy Joey Options was doing that same thing as well. He was all about that algo life. Keep us updated, Shane, how it's working. Tell us a little bit about it, too. You don't have to spill the beans and give us the secret sauce. Or if you want them, spill them. But, yeah, let us know what's going on with that. What do you got? You trading small caps, trading large caps? What are you looking for? What are you filtering?
I think it's Shane B. Smoking rocks because he has the diamond beside. I mean, it's all right, man. Hopefully, or that glass and everything. No, in all seriousness,
stock is still ripping, man.
Bro, what we're gonna get rolling here is any Sharif. We took a little bit off just due to size, but we're starting to get some upticks here. This is what we're looking for, and yeah, Walmart at a high of the day, man. We like that Staples rotation play, but we're gonna try to hold this dog up into $5.60. Finally breaking through here a little bit, Sharif. What is our average price on this bad boy? $5.42. We are printing 45s. Hopefully this isn't a false break. We need the volume to stick in and kick in on this bad boy as Katina Man's getting ready to rock and roll it. But a little volume, nothing, not what we need, but there it is, bang. All right, man, all right, let's go, come on. Start to giddy up a little as we held this about 10 cents against us, so we want to hold this for at least 15 to 20. That's going to put us at 560 or 555 before we take anything off, but it could also break down in between then. So, Joe, block yourself 30 seconds. What the hell was that even? I don't know, 30 seconds. I can't block myself, man. Joe's crazy today. Yeah, I'm crazy every day. I think I'm going to.
How did you find out about that? Okay, so I'll tell you how I found out about it. There's this millennial on TikTok. She likes to make videos pretending she's Gen Z, and she's trying to use all their lingo. So she does it excessively, like she's throwing it all back. It's like, clock it. Is that what the hell does that even mean, man? Like, say that again, Ram?
Oh.
I need to know, Ram. You're like one of the only people that I know. I said, all right. Ram just dunked on me. Let's go to Adara.
Kind of an update or a summary here, guys, just so you know, continuing to see the same reports more or less circulating, suggesting that talks are continuing here between Iran and the U.S. There is yet to be a final deal reached. Apparently, the first phase of negotiations a while back failed because of some disagreements here about nuclear, and Iran does not want to go to any agreement where Lebanon is ignored. It's like the same 4 or 5 headlines that are continuing to circulate. USO did kind of wick lower, guys, as you can see, then bounce right back, so just be aware. These headlines continue to pop around. It's the same handful. If I see anything new, I'll keep you posted. Back to you.
Oh, there it is. Look what he changed his name to, bro. Big Smile Verified. Big Smile Burdette gracing us with his presence. He's in the house, baby. You want to read that one, Joey?
I can read it, man. Actually, yeah, we can read it here as Annie is not holding up very well. All right. Cut the BS, Big Smile, first of all.
No,
long
keep it up,
time
Big
listener,
Smile. We love
first time caller. Who is this? Yo.
Oh my day! You don't want to? You want
No,
me
I'm
to
not.
read it?
No, why? Sure, if you want to. I'm not gonna read.
You're
it.
not gonna read it.
No,
Yo, guys,
I'm not gonna
stock
read it.
is ripping here, man. The breakout is on. Shout out to Bovin, long-time listener, first-time caller. Oh man, who is the small guy with the soft hands and the fancy glasses? Looks like he's short shorts. When blood, and what about next decade for long term? Oh man, Joey.
What's he saying about long term?
Got caught the hands there, man. All right, there we go. Shout out to my man, Big Spile Burdette, doing great. I was talking to him the other day on the gram. He's doing fantastic. Love to hear from him every now and again. He's working full time, obviously, but he still got us in the ear, man. And that's all we ask for, Big Spile. Stay in the community, baby. We love you. Keep hanging out with us from time to time. Check in as you always do. Shout out to Big Spile, Big Smile, Big Kyle. That's his real name if you don't know. Burdette, from the great state of Pennsylvania. He's not that far from us, actually. is a little bit down the road here. But yeah, Bovin, this is a quality trade, Bovin. 379 here on Stack, showing 67 now. Fantastic look. It's a breakout. The volume is coming in spades now. People are loving this name. Let's load it up on the trade screen and put it on the 5-second chart so we can spot local areas of support and resistance. Just dipped down into 345, got bought up. We're still in a bit of a downtrend here on STAK. Looking for a breach of around 375, but 345 has to hold here locally. It does. 46 area low, looking for another move back up, showing 50, but no continuation. 55, still lower highs though. Trying to see exactly where it bottoms out so that we could possibly area still featuring here, Joey.
All right, man, good stuff. Let's see if we can get this breakout here, man. We had the pullback, held that $5.30, break through this $5.50 marker on ANY, and I think we can head up into 560. We have to be prepared to take some out. There it is. Come on up to, oh, but immediately met by some form of defense. Not too good of a look there, guys. Walmart. Keep an eye out on this bad boy. Wally's World, oh, starting to come back in a little bit here, ladies and gentlemen, off of that 117.25 high. If that breaks, we want to see this level that was prior resistance act as some form of support. Otherwise, we might be in a little bit of trouble, but let's go, Annie. I think you can do it, man. You can do it.
Annie's got a great pattern. Good call.
Exactly, but that's what we're looking at right now. You're looking at that bad boy right now, too. I'm curious if KC526, she probably has her eyes on it, and Bovin as well, too. But this is a key level, Sharif. We want to see some strength step in, and the volume also follow. That's going to be a big-time confirmation, and whether this trade is going to hit the levels that we are looking for or give up and break that 530 marker. We did reduce the size a little bit, but come on, some more strong ticks there, my boy, and see if we can get this trade to break up. So as we're monitoring a couple of trades, we'll head back over to our large caps to see how they've been performing, and it's not very good. Tesla was up to 432 here today. Or 433, sorry, now down to 419. That's a little bit tougher of a look. 309 here on AAPL, and then NVDA right at the lows of the days here, guys, bouncing off of it. Some indecision. There it is, Sharif. Ooh. Bang, wang, bang. Yeah, hey.
Get it, Joey. Get it, Joey.
Hey, yo. Oh, yeah, yo. What's up, Big Smile? Where you at, my boy?
Leave alone, bro.
Hell no, man. No one leaves me alone. There we go. $5.70. We were talking about that marker. We'll take a little bit more. Hey, man, you don't got to ring that bell twice for me. You should know that already. Let's see what we got going on. We'll take a little bit more off, Street.
Sounds good, Joey. Sounds good. I'm trying my hand here at Stack. We're going to stop out below 344. I want to see if this one can get above 375. A lot of resistance at 375 for whatever reason. Watching this on the tape and the book, there was a 75 seller of note, and that is a couple of times now that we've tried to work back into $0.75 and failed. It is putting in higher lows ever since that dip into about 346, so it's finding a bit of a base, but it doesn't look that strong right now. Here it is again into the high to mid 60s. No prints above 70 so far. Here, there's 69. Let's see if we can see that 75 seller again, guys. I want to show you that 75 seller, but not to be, at least this time around. So continuing to watch here on STAK, see if it can hold up at the requisite levels. Oh no, it's dipping into the 50s. This is trouble. Let's see if it dips any further than 346, because that's where my stop is. I also want to point out that SOAR just popped into that 40 area, held the 20, not exactly a clean hold. It did dip below it, but it ended up closing above it. So keep your eye here on SOAR, but it is putting in some lower highs. What I did like about this one was it just generally held that 40 penny area. What I'm not liking about it is that every subsequent 5-minute candle is a little bit lower than its predecessor. So that is not good for the downtrend. Whereas the Stack trade, still watching STAK in the mid to high 50s over here, but it does feel like maybe this one, the best trade is behind it at the moment. We'll see if this one pops off. I'll stop out at the same level that I spoke about, 346, 345. Mark, 9670, he's dropping 2 in the chat. Joe, and he's thanking you.
What is he saying?
Tip to you, Joey Options. There you go, man. You're getting some love.
You catch that love, man.
Got it.
What does the super chat say?
It says tip to you, Joey.
Hey, man, we don't need. I appreciate that, man. I'd rather You know, I don't know if you have a family or anything along those lines, rock and roll. We appreciate it. Go straight to the show, though. Don't forget that, right? So thank you very much, Sharif.
Yes, sir.
So at times, you know what they say, right?
What do they say, Joey?
Sometimes people mistake your kindness for weakness. For I'm a very kind individual.
Yes.
Yes, I am. Very kind.
Who are you talking to here?
Talking to everybody.
Oh. Is that
but they tend to forget. Well, it's not a threat.
Oh,
I'm not
even watching the video.
Not a threat.
Man,
but sometimes, man. Come on, man. I don't know. Control zoom, man.
And then with the mouse.
We can't go in anymore, man. No, that's it. Assassino fixing to do it.
All right, let me narrate
I'm a couple months away. I'm a couple months away from getting back in the gym.
You're getting back in the gym.
I pass my gym every single day. Seeing my old trainer out there, I said, watch out for the kid's return because he's coming soon.
Geez.
He said, I will tell everybody to start to get prepared.
I love it.
Because I literally...
Fear the man.
No, do not fear nothing.
Why?
Just be prepared.
Be prepared.
That's
but
it.
They shouldn't fear.
No.
Why
if
not?
you're prepared, because...
I would like a little fear here.
There's nothing wrong with a little fear, but just be prepared that I am stepping back in the ring very soon.
I love this. This is an open threat. For anybody who thinks about talking smack, you're gonna catch hands. This is how I'm interpreting it. I mean, like anybody can get it here. This is because you're basically declaring a public
It's
challenge
a PSA.
here. Yeah, it's a PSA.
You know what they called? You know what they called AB, right?
Yeah. What do they call him?
Call him the can man.
Why do they call him?
Because anybody can get it.
Anybody can get it.
Mexicans, Americans, Canadians, everybody can get it.
What the hell is going on? Bovin, are you watching Stack, Bovin? Stack is ripping into the high there, 384. Let's see if we can get $4 here on STAK. It took out the 75 seller, but it's not immediately apparent whether this is going to make it into 4 in a straight line. There's high 70s, low 80s again. Looking for the continuation here. Get it, Bovin. Where are you at, Bovin? He's probably taking prints. I mean, leave the guy alone, right? Continue to watch here. A lot of 75 selling, guys. A little bit above 75, a little bit below. But Stack looks good here. It's got higher lows, but watch out for the loss of prior bar low. The loss of prior bar low needs to lose the 341 level. So we're going to keep a close eye out on that, Joey. We got a bunch of different super chats there. I think they're both for you. So how about you cover them? Well,
all right, let's go here. I think we already went over one. Oh, Joe.
No.
Okay, no. Greg Trail, what's up? Joe was ready to jump through the screen and turn smiles upside. Oh, I like that one. Appreciate the show, my guy. That is a good one.
That was good.
Oh, that's a good one. Turning smiles upside down. Appreciate the show.
I love it.
Keep up the good work. Nah, man, it's all love here. At the end of the day, sometimes people forget. And you know what they once said on one of the best movies of all time, Superbad, is people don't forget. All right, so thank you very much for that super chat.
Oh, he's back.
Uh-oh. All right, hold on, man. Protection money. Mark 9670 protection money, so Joey doesn't beat me up. No, man, it's not.
Anybody can get it, man. I'm telling you, it was a declaration of war on anybody who wants to get it. That's how I interpreted that.
Yeah, it is, man. Watch out. Anybody can get the smoke, man. All right, he's back, man.
There he is,
Let's see what he said here. One piece here. I'm shocked that Joey has yet again played Start at B3 of him with one lucky hit from 2011.
What is that from, by the way? When is that video from?
My gym.
Yeah, no, not where. When?
Oh, like 22?
Oh, so it's like
yeah.
It's right after COVID.
Yeah. It was 22, 23. Probably 23.
I like that. Yeah. He's trying to create,
he's trying. He's trying, man. But we don't want to turn that. We always keep that frown upside down. I command you immortal. No, finish.
Kuna Matata.
No, yeah, other than that, man, good stuff. Any was nice. Who else was trading any here today? And Walmart has definitely been on fire today.
What pattern do you see there on the 5-minute chart on any, Joe? If I want take a quick look at
yeah,
the
I
5
can pull
there,
up again.
because there's a gnarly
and
pattern there that's manifesting on the 5-minute chart.
Let's see what this bad boy's up to. You think it's going to go for the high of the day break
Well, you
once
tell
again?
me, man. When you see that chart pattern, I think you might like it.
I think at some point,
What
yeah.
does that look like,
I'm curious. I think this is a key statistic, though, Sharif. How many times are you going to punch through the high of the day? We've already had it once. Maybe if that momentum upticks and continues, we just need to wait for that next wave. There it is. They're up to $5.80. So, yeah, who knows? Maybe it can break through.
You don't think this is an ascending wedge pattern, though? Higher
This
low,
wedge?
higher low, higher low, all into
Yeah,
flat top?
ascending wedge. Yeah, we could
This is a
definitely head
beauty,
into that,
man.
bang, right there. And then you can play the break of that level of that 580 marker there, Sharif, with some volume and momentum. So, yeah, nice call out on that bad boy.
Yeah, it looks, well, I'm not the one who, I had it earlier, but yeah, you got a great trade on that. But it does feel like it is a flat top break waiting to happen. Perhaps a punch through 6 is 585. There it goes, showing 86.
There it goes.
I'm seeing it on the side now, 86, 89, 90.
Oh, there it is.
Here it goes into $6. I tried to tell you, flat top break manifesting here. Let's see if $6 is going to be a resistance level. Should be. I mean, usually it is. I'm still keeping an eye here on stack. It's failing the bid, though. It's about to breach the level, so we're going to get out of that one. Take a break even on the remaining amount. And the last one that I have here is SOAR. I'm not liking this pattern much anymore. Here's the deal. If it gets back above 43, we'll get back in. But for here, we'll take it out, and we'll end the trade there on SOAR. So that is what I'm looking at now. All right, let's take a little bit of a break here. Let's look at some of these sectors. We've been trading for 2 hours and a half nonstop, man. I didn't even get up to use the bathroom during the lesson of the day, man. But anyway, let's look at some of these markets. So right off the bat, you can see the MAG 7, all red. For the exception of one name and one name only, it goes by the 4 letters META. 617, 618, it's up 3.4%. Everything else other than GOOGL, decidedly red. Google, barely red, only down 0.14. Then you have the semis, a bit of a mixed bag, right? You got SMCI getting clipped down over 8%. I thought this would be SSR. Light as well. My trade, Lumentum, had a big day yesterday, but it's had a lot of trouble with $1,000. And every time it has a move above 1,000, it drops below. So LIT, there's the daily on Lumentum. I mean, to me, it's a bit of a range here. 850 at the low, 1,050 at the high. That is, of course, until we break above that range. But LIT has been good. But, you know, lately it's been consolidative. Let's continue to look over here. Marvell, the rocket chip, up 6%. Good look for Marvell on this one. Not far off the opening print as well, but down almost 3% since the bell. Much like Broadcom, only up 0.66, down 2% since the bell. We got Qualcomm up 3.5%. What else we got over here? Any outsized names? Cerebras, or Cerebus, or whatever the hell we're calling it, getting absolutely clipped. This is on the verge of going SSR. It is down 9 2/3. It is at the day low. CRBS, decidedly now below that. Let's put the hourly on this thing, man. The opening print on the IPO day, which I believe was 300. And then you'll recall all what happened at that 385. So off the all-time highs, we've almost lost half the company's value there from all-time highs down about 45%. Moving down here, the list, we've got Bloom Energy down 5.8%, but it had a big day yesterday, like FCell. FCell down 11 3/4, but FCell was up 25% yesterday, so gives back a little bit here. All the Chinese names, even Jinko Solar, the one that Adara brought us with that headline, it went green for a moment into 23.47, but it is also down 1 1/3. So all the Chinese ADRs in the Ville of Red right now. Crypto can't catch a break, whether you're ETH, crypto, whatever the hell else. It is all red, for the exception of Riot Blockchain, up 1 2/3%. We know that the miners now are changing their tune. They're changing their business model more into AI data center-ish. You also got CleanSpark up 1/3. The military names, the military and defense names, mixed bag. You got Lockheed up 1%, TXT up 1%, but then you have Palantir down 6%. What's this one? Northrop, the one I don't own Northrop, but this is my pick. Down 1/3% on the day. You got AVAV also, that's a drone name, down 7%. KTOS, another drone name, down 7%. They're all getting clipped. GameStop, after its earnings report, giving a little bit off the top there. AMC's down 10% for some reason. What else we got here? And then there's no bid on PanDub today, man. There's nothing on PanDub. It is down now 6 1/3% from the close of yesterday. It's not at the low, but it's getting close to the low. You're getting a move down as well on CrowdStrike, not nearly as much as PanDub, down 2 3/4. Okta, Zscaler, all. Why are these worse than PanDub? But they're all getting clipped as well. FinTech, DeFi, all red. Upstart, Hood, SC Limited, Domo, Firm, PayPal, Block, SoFi, they're all red. Nothing's green there, Joey. Neither are the weed names, but where you do see some green, funny enough, biotech. You're seeing Lilly here, up 2 1/3. Moderna, up 4 1/2. Amgen, nice, and Regeneron as well, all green on the day, except Novo. I don't understand why Novo's red. They just opened up that, or they just opened or started selling their weight loss, Wegovy, I think it is, in Dubai or in the United Arab Emirates. So you think that, you know, not probably a needle mover there because small population. We got a super. Mark, 9670. Anyway, can you do a retrospective analysis on why any had a good setup? I had the same idea, but still not fully literate on technical analysis. That's actually as honest of a question as it can get right there. And the reason is, a couple of reasons. So let's go into my trade and then Joey can speak about his own. So here's my any trade. Let's load this up. So this to me was an uptrend, right? And what I kept seeing was this 490 area, 480, pardon me, get rejected. So I was like, all right, this is an ascending wedge pattern. We've got a lot of higher lows, basically from wherever you're looking, 930, 10, whatever. Higher lows, every area low is higher than its predecessor. So I was like, okay, this is a good uptrend, right? But there was a seller here locally at 480. So I was like, okay, if I get in here, right, at this where did I get in? 473, 475, whatever it was, right? And I give it to the area low, which was I was gonna give it to 4.5, because that's the area low, 450. It's also psychological support. How much do I have to risk? So in this case, it was about 25 pennies to make what, 5 1/3. I was gauging 5 1/3, and that's why you see a lot of outs there at 5 1/3. That to me was more than 1 to 1. So I was like, all right, fine, this is good. This is an ascending wedge pattern. The risk to reward ratio checks, it tracks. Let's get in here. And then we got the flat top break through 490. You got an aggressive move through 5. Now it wasn't as clean through 5, you'll see. And that's typically the case, right? When you get into that whole dollar level, there's a lot of profit taking. There's also shorts setting up their position at the whole dollar level. So there's a bit of a zig and zag at that level. But we saw what happened after that, man. The shorts were caught offside and all hell broke loose to the high side into 580. And then it came right back into that level, right? The same level that I got involved in, it came right back there. And that's where your boy Joey Options got involved, right around that 470, 480 area. And then they did the same thing, but this time it was a bit better than that 580 rejection. It got to 6. So what I'm trying to say is the higher low patterns and the risk to reward setup kind of made sense to me on that. And that's why I got in. How about yourself, Joe?
Yeah, let's get right into it, man. We'll go over this here relatively quick for our boy Bovin here. He's asking me what the expected move was. We're looking around 8.1%. You can see the uptick in the out-the-money IV, but that's going to put us at a high of around $523 and $444 at the low. All right? We'll go over the other couple of names, guys, and apologize if I don't do this often enough during earnings reports because I know Adara posts the expected move, but there's no reason why we can't really drill this into our brains and see what we're looking at. And then we're going to take a look at the options chain as well relatively soon. My man, let's see, thank you. Anytime, stack going again. And then we also have Drew Farrell, BTQ Apple News volume coming in. Let's go. Adara, talk to us.
So this is purely speculative. I want to start it out by saying that. Paradigm came out here with a note. They're saying that BTQ is a, quote, secret supplier of Apple, and that, quote, this company's identity will become something everyone knows next week. Now, when they say next week, it's very likely they're referring to the WWDC, or Worldwide Developer Con, that Apple's holding, starting with that keynote on Monday, June 8th. So once again here, BTQ popping up, but as far as I can tell, pure speculation, suggesting that they're an Apple supplier. Back to you.
Perfect. Thank you very much for that, Adair. Now, as for the analysis here on any, we're just heading back towards that super chat. We're going to go over CrowdStrike here momentarily and some of the other earnings names from tonight. Now, as for this, what we are looking at is Sharif made a very valid point, is that you can see on the 5-minute time frame, you're starting to establish these higher lows. Okay, so this trend line is holding up. But where did we get involved in this specifically on any? Was the high of the day breaks. So we were looking for the break of this, or was it a previous pivot? I forget specifically what it was, around 1232. Let's see if we can find that on the time. We're not going to. Anyways, we're looking for the punch through of this level. That's when we take that first scalp. And then, sure enough, we start to curl over. We're not breaking down, but if you break this 516, then your thesis is invalid, but then the strength really started to kick in, the volume stepped in, and we were doing the exact same thing, the anticipation of breaking through the high of the day. All right. Now, as for Walmart, how have you been doing? We haven't kept our eyes on this battle. We're still hovering around that level. Not too bad of a look whatsoever. Let's head back over to our expected moves and see what we have. Who are the big dogs that are reporting tonight? We're going to figure it out. We'll head over to our trusty... Oh, okay, yeah, there it is. Bang. And see what we got going on over here, guys. We'll head over to our market today, and then we're going to be taking a look at the earnings calendar and who we have reporting. Lululemon. I heard Katina Man talking about this after the close, and then also CrowdStrike. So there's a couple of the names that we can go over here right now. We were looking at an 8.1% expected move on Broadcom, and I'm going to be probably something relatively close to what we have here on... Where did you go? That's the thing with so many tabs. You just get kind of scrambled around. All right. So Broadcom, 8.1% expected move. We're going to head over to CrowdStrike and see what we got going on here. What are we looking at from a percentage metric? 8.3 with a high of around $812. Oh. Wow, okay, that's big time in Crowd. And then a low of 688. You can see the at the money really starting to uptick. And then also Lululemon, Sharif helping the top line on this bad boy. Here it is, 8.9%. So a lot of eights across the board. High of $136 and a low of $114. Before we send it back, let's take a look at the two more active names on the options chain, and that's probably going to be Lululemon. We can take a look at CrowdStrike, but let's start off with Broadcom. All right, we're reporting after the bell. The at-the-money IV is going to be priced in. You see it at 143%, $500. Looks like we have a little bit of supply zone. Let's head over to this June 18th expiration cycle to see if there's anything a little bit higher than that at that $500 mark, and then we'll just scroll each individual one. So yeah, I think $500 can be in the play, and also a rejection of that zone as well. Now let's take a look at Lulu. We were just looking at the high potentially being around that 8.9, the higher end of the expected move at $136. Let's figure that out right now. 136, what do we got at 136? Nothing crazy, not very liquid. And then we'll do one more before we send it back to our boy. Let me see what he's got going on over there. CrowdStrike, what is the top end of this? $100 and something. We like it. We like it. June 18th, nothing crazy. And see, this is what I'm talking about. There's not that much activity, but $800, that's going to correlate with our expected move from before. 1,000 contracts open, expiring this Friday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're going to have big earnings. What? Surprise, Sharif hasn't worn. And Lou, I don't like yoga pants, brother. I mean, not my thing.
Like male yoga pants?
What's that?
Male yoga?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't even know what those would look like.
They're just like stretchy,
right?
Okay. They're the ones that sell at Lulu. They're the tight fit, so they're a little bit older.
Oh,
right?
okay.
I like the shorts.
Like the shorts?
I like the shorts.
Where are they?
Problem is though, the shorts that I bought.
Yeah.
No underwear insert. So you actually
They
have
no,
to
the
wear,
line. They don't have the lining.
Have the lining.
See, that's what Big Smile doesn't know about the lining in the four seamers, because that's what you gotta rely on those.
Okay, so keep it down, Ram.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, but seriously, right? Like, no, but these liners are important.
Yeah.
Like, they are, right? And the fact of the matter is, the shorts that I didn't get that I got, only one of them, actually, the black one, which was the $78 one. The $68 ones don't have.
Don't have. The 78s do. So that's probably why the $10 is added on.
Right, for the liner there. I was like, come on now, bro. Let's go. Yes, brah. All right, guys. Winding down here, about 10, 13, 15 minutes left on the show. Let's see what's moving. All right, sorry, guys. Let's see what's moving in these here markets. We got SOAR still hanging out near that 45 penny area. It did bamboozle me out of the trade, but hey, whatever. 40 pennies, good area support, trying to work into 44. It's got some higher lows. There was a monster seller at 45. We couldn't shake him, hence why I'm out of the trade. QMCO, though, light volume, but a good chart pattern and a breakthrough 1450, and there goes 15, and there's 1522. So QMCO, a good looker as well. Trading above 15 now at basically the day high. Then ANY, we pontificated a lot about this. It's got a lower high setup at the moment, but it is knocking on the door of $6 with a 615 high. This could be an interesting one. Keep your eye on ANY if it continues in the aftermarket. Stack as well, the above and special. Off that 390 area, but dilly-dallying here just a little bit below the $0.50. Still above the 10 EMA, still above that 3 1/5 where we saw support earlier on. So this one I think is still in play. NVTS, that Joey special, a little above VWAP, a little bit below VWAP. It's hanging out right now at 31 2/3, trying to break this downtrend here. Let's see if it can get above prior area high, which is about 32.5. I think if 32.5 gets taken out here, we could make another move into the mid 33s. That's all I'm looking at the moment. EEIQ halted, says TT Mass. Let's look at EEIQ. Ooh. This looks like a KC 526 special over here.
She just popped in the chat too.
There she is. So obvious. I love it. Get it, Case. 4 1/4, she says. Resumption is 431 at the moment. But this is looking pretty good. You have a nice breakout candle there. On light volume, mind you, 11,000 shares. But hey, it is what it is, man. You want to trade these, you're gonna have to deal with the volume. So EEIQ, let's load this up on a trading screen. Get ready for the resumption. We'll see when time this monster halted. We don't want to take off stack though. SOAR is good. QMCO is good. NE's good. Let's take off this one. EEIQ. See what we got on this one, Joey. All right, halt time, 1346.21. Halt price, 425. We'll keep an eye out on this one. 151, she says. I don't know what that means, you know? What are you talking about? 151 what, Case? You're in this at $1.51? No way. Or 151 halt time. Resumption, thank you. 151.21 halt time. Resumption. So we'll get ready for this one. EEIQ up 35%, Joey.
Bro, remember the name sucks, Ryan, man. I can't stand that guy.
Who?
A UFC fighter. His nickname, his fighter name is Remember the Name. He's one of those guys who just tries so hard, and it's just like, man, stop, man.
You know what I don't like too?
Bilal Muhammad sucks.
When they score, and like they start pointing to like the back of their name,
like who they are.
It's like, yeah, I already know who you are.
You already know.
Like, you know,
you already
still
know.
not impressed.
But do you remember their name, just in case? Bilal Muhammad is just like, bro, stop. I have Gabriel Bonfim. I think he's going to be.
UFC this weekend?
It's not big. But it's not horrible either, to be honest.
It's not bad?
Yeah, it's not bad. No.
When is the?
Soon, man.
The White House, because I saw them building it. Like they
we can get the exact same. We can get the exact date of that bad boy. I plan on. I mean, we're gonna do some big things on that card there. Sure.
You gonna drive down to Washington?
No, I'm not gonna be
like
driving down
Not
to
even
Washington.
that bad. 8-10 hours.
That'd be
like
nice,
that, right?
man.
Yeah.
I like road trips like
Pull
that.
up
Let's
to
figure it out.
1600 Pennsylvania.
I'm pretty sure
by the Secret Service.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody in the chat actually has June 14th, so a couple of ways. Saturday.
So that's.
The IPO would therefore be on the Thursday.
Yeah, you tripped me out, man. It was like.
Yeah.
It's open. EEIQ's open. Here it is. Let's go. 460 seller. There's a seller at 460. Can we shake them? Let's watch. Yep, there it is, breakout. Let's see if we can kind of pump up a little bit more. There it is into a 480, 475 area high. Let's see if we get continuation. There is 479, there's 480, there's 86, looking for a little bit more now. We just flashed 90s momentarily there, but no continuation above that. Good spread on this one, 1 penny. Didn't anticipate that. I do anticipate it opening up though. A little unusual there. Looking for a bigger move, Joey, but we're kind of stalling out, and we are halted to the upside on EEIQ. Halt level 486er. Halt time 13:52:04. The earliest will be open 13:57:04.
Yeah, iGrow's going. Yeah, iGrow. I remember you said that you had tickets, man. 4 tickets. Man, if you had one for your boy, man, that'd be absolutely fantastic. We could go down there and see what's going on.
For one, man.
I thought you were already on that. No? Okay, come to DC. You coming down to DC? I don't know, man. I think my next trip is going to be, I want to go over to Myrtle, see what we got going over in the Carolinas. I just have a fascination about
Grade 8.
Yeah?
Last time I went there with my family, summer of '95.
Damn.
We drove down there, so we had to stop in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Just for like a little bit in the north part of North Carolina. Anyway, we had to leave.
That was 3.
We had to leave early.
What?
Because there was a hurricane, Hurricane Bertha.
On the
Won't
way.
ever forget it.
In 95.
July 95. It's on Wikipedia.
Oh, yeah?
So we had to get the hell out of
When
there.
did you go in the summertime? Oh, man.
Yeah, which is a problem.
Summertime.
obviously,
Yeah, all right, Dirty Myrtle. Is that what you guys are calling it?
Is that what they call it?
Is that what they call it these days? I just want to go on the strip and hit the beach. I heard there's a lot of sharks over in that neck of the woods.
I didn't hear that.
Neil don't like sharks either. We don't like sharks that much either over here, man. We got to keep it on.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, anything to do with sharks.
Virginia Beach too is cool. I like in terms of if you're looking for something on the coast, Myrtle Beach, Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
I think obviously Virginia is a little bit north, so.
No, I want to see some palm trees or something.
I didn't remember seeing palm trees in South Carolina. I could be wrong though.
I'm pretty confident there's palm trees over there.
Dirty Myrtle, get it, Riley.
Onion Gang, despises. Yeah, we don't like that stuff over there, man. All right, guys. We got 6 minutes left.
Sorry, ignorant.
What did he say?
Yes, you did.
What did he say?
You're so funny.
What did he say? Sharks
are ignorant.
That's crazy.
507 tap on EEIQ, guys. Get it, Casey. We hope you print up multiple storms there. Excellent trade, Case. You're always really good with these. Volume's a bit better now. 115,000 shares, Joey.
All right, good stuff. Yeah, all right, Sharice so far. All right, good stuff. Listen, I think we could talk UFC all day, you and I, Ryan. I wonder what Hangry Wife's up to, but I think if Alex Pereira decides to come out guns flying, he knocks Cyril Gane out relatively quick. But obviously the weight change is going to be extremely crazy. There's a couple of KOs. Mauricio Rufy, I like that to beat Michael Chandler too. Michael Chandler has 2 wins in the UFC. I have no idea why that guy's still in there. But anyways, any guys looking for another rebound? There's a couple of minutes left. If there's any specific names that you want us to go over, just put it in the chat. We'll do so. We have no issues with that as Walmart is starting to come back in. So we may as well close this position. The trend line has officially been broken. So we just hop out. It hasn't been bad to us. Did we get the top of it? No. You're not always going to, but we're heading back towards our entry price. So we'll head out of Wally's World. That's selling aggressively as the market is tech climbing higher. Staples starting to come back in. I know it was awfully loud now, wasn't it? So there it is.
Give me the finger.
Oh, that's what she typically does,
I'd probably get complained to. Like she probably.
Well, you couldn't do it right now.
She'd probably tell Brendo.
No, I don't see Ramin as a narc city.
Oh, 100% narc.
You think?
Yeah, Ram
is a narc.
Yeah. Highly self-interested.
That doesn't mean you're a narc. But see, the issue is that when I'm like, hey, when I was talking about when I want to go and do something, I don't want to hear a peep from the other one. But Ramin's like, she's probably giving her husband a hell of a hard time over there.
Heard what she said yesterday.
I heard what she said.
We all heard the mother-in-law beef.
Oh yeah.
Right away on
well, that's what I'm getting at. Like, so it's just like, man, that's crazy. You got to let your man do what he wants sometimes without just being like, me.
I don't want her coming over here, bro.
She's not gonna come over here, man.
Oh my Jesus. Neil's face too, exactly.
That's crazy.
That was my reaction there. I was like, all right. Blasphemy, she says. We love you, Ram. Always, man.
Yeah, just
good vibe.
She ain't no snitch, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, that's what she says, right? So she can say whatever she wants.
Yeah.
There you go.
We'll see when
Joe gonna be in so much trouble here. Yeah, you know what? Sometimes
I know. I'm talking a big game over here. I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble.
Damn, Ram. Yeah, Mike B.D. Ryder, we love you too, brother. All right, guys, we're still keeping an eye here on EEIQ. We're still waiting for the resumption on this one. Recall that the halt time here is 13:52:04. So if it was gonna be now, it should be now. No, so it will be 10 minutes on this one. 13:52:04. Okay, it's open. Here we go. So it was a little bit late, or I had a mistake there. Let's watch. Can it clear 5? It had a resumption price. The top was showing above 5. It opens up a little bit below 5. Uh-oh, here we go. Down into 43, trying to hold the $0.50. A buyer stepping in here. No, it looks like it's going to drop here. 440 candle low. Let's watch. See if this one resumes the move back up. I'm going to put this up here on a 5-second chart just so I can spot areas of support and resistance locally. Right back into $0.75, man. But yeah, the spread is what it is here. It's about 7-8 pennies at the moment. Opens up, tightens up at times, but it does feel like it's heading down. Yep, again, losing the bid here a little bit down into about 436, but there is a buyer generally into this 40 area. That's the second time it gets bought off that area, but here we go. We're losing the bid big time. 422, halt parameter initiating here at 422. We need another 5 or 10 seconds at this level. It looks like it's gonna halt down, 422. Let's see if it grays out here, Joey, and we're grayed out now. Halted down, 422. Casey stopped out. That's what we do this for, man. If you don't have a trade plan, well, you know, it's usually gonna be a tough one for you. That's why we get in and get out with a trade plan. Shout out to Casey, locking in those profits. Good look on your part, Joey.
Yeah.
Couple of minutes left on the show.
What are you doing today?
What am I doing? I'm doing upper body.
Yeah.
So I got some shoulder accessory work, triple set. So you know the side raises machine?
Yeah.
So I don't do it like that. So I don't hold the handles. So I keep my arms completely straight. Why? Because I'm trying to hit the rear medial.
Trying to hit the rear?
Yeah. Not the posterior deltoid, but the rear medial deltoid.
Okay.
Right? So do these. Try to hit about 15. Then I take a 45 plate, either a 45 plate or 225s. And then I go on the wall, keep my back straight on the wall, and I'm doing front raises for the anterior deltoid.
Okay.
And then I go back onto that side raise machine. I put my head low, and I basically do reverse flies for the posterior deltoid. So it's a triple set that I do between all three. You get a nice burn. Just keep it high reps.
All these, man.
Yeah. So that was good. What else did we got in? We got in some flies as well. Did some flies with some reverse flies, but from the top position. Listen to this.
I'm listening.
So on the you know the adjustable cable machine?
Yeah.
The one that you can kind of move sideways, up, down, and it just has this long arm that can move in different ways?
I think so.
Okay, so I did flies on that, right? Regular flies for rear delts, but I have this really interesting technique where I go on my knees, I put the arms all the way to the top, and then I just go out like this, which is sick for the scapular retraction as well as good for rear delts.
Okay.
So it ends up hitting good. I do those as a superset. And then I did some dumbbell pullovers, on the bench. And the serratus anterior, man. The serratus anterior, your lower pecs as well, and a little bit of the outside of the lats, if you isolate it, as well as, what did I superset with? These, so do you know the long handles? So it's like a regular black handle, but the string for the handle is super long. And the point is, it allows you to do these rowing motions without restricting the movement. So anyway, they're super long, and then I just basically reverse pull. And it's good for the trapezius, your rhomboids, your teres major, your teres minor, right? So just doing these upright. They're not upright rows. They're just sort of like, I don't even know what they're called.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
See, the thing is though, Sharif, I can, the reason why I'm smart is because I'm like, yeah, man, I'm just thinking in my head, you're hitting all these muscle groups, and I'm just like, yeah, man, I'm gonna go hit some pull-ups and push-ups at the outdoor
work,
gym.
But my morning workout is accessory work. My afternoon workout is the real deal. The stuff that you're gonna do.
Like I'll be hitting like muscle-ups and stuff at the outdoor gym and stuff.
Fantastic. They work everything. That's the thing.
I love muscle-ups. But yeah, we're gonna do that. I mean, shout out to Katina, man. This guy knows. Where is this guy, man?
Your belly is popping. I don't have a belly, jerk.